All right.
Woo! 0 minutes.
0 minutes.
Woo!
What are these?
Ooh, it's a Governor Mario M. Cuomo bridge.
Huh?
Capiche?
Capiche.
Capiche. Better than the Marion Shaquille Berry Jr. Bridge.
I'm here. All right, made it this time. Oh my God, the comments are.
I think we're live, right?
Yes.
Let's do a quick sound check here for those of us in the audience.
Oh, you can
Just verify that you can hear us with the settings that we've got right now.
Yes.
Okay. Verify that you can hear us. All right, we have our in-house
sound engineer.
Yeah. I knew there was a reason I had to invite Josh tonight.
Our live.
Other than to make an echo?
Yeah. That's Steve's job. Yeah,
that's Steve's thing.
Yeah, but I need the laptop for that.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Very excited to have you with us tonight. And I'm really excited because we get to do something really different this evening that we haven't really done before.
Make fun of you.
You guys will have 2.5 hours to do that. Trust me. I am going to be joined tonight by several members of the AA Roads Forum. And I suppose what we should start off with is do a quick roundtable introduction of everybody just so we know who's here and whatnot. And if you feel comfortable giving out your AA Roads username, you are free to do that. So why don't we start at this end and work around.
This is the one and only Alps Roads. I'm going to list my qualifications for tonight, having written the manual for traffic control in work zones, having developed the lane closure and shoulder.
I asked you for your name and your username. Okay.
And
all right,
the
you're
road
done.
User cost manual.
Okay.
So I'm going to be giving a lot of color commentary, mostly making fun of you guys.
Okay. That you said.
Most of which we don't care about either. But
Okay. So I am Roadway Wiz. I go by Roadway Wiz 95 on the forum.
Why are you Roadway Wiz 95?
Should I answer that question?
Yeah. Where are the other 94 Roadway Wizzes?
Yeah.
Well, there's just me, and I guess there's 94 pretenders. I don't know.
I don't understand.
I'm Bill Allen, known as Signal Man on the forum.
I'm Duke 87, and unlike our first guest tonight, I'm not going to spend the next 10 minutes bragging about what I'm capable of.
I think you should. Tell us about your energy efficiency.
Maybe later.
After exit 80?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Josh. I'm Seal94 on the forum, and I could talk about my qualifications, but I won't.
I don't want to hear them anyway, so be quiet.
Well, screw you.
You don't have
I can assert that he gives great TRB presentations because I've actually been to one.
Okay.
And he did a great job. But enough of that for now. I'm Patrick Zlayakis. I go by CP Zlayakis on AA Roads, and I will not bore you with things like travel time index and planning time index, which is a major part of my day job for now.
And
You may enter.
Let somebody let him in, please.
no.
I would let him in. 'cause
Okay. And we actually just have somebody else who just came to the door who's going to introduce himself. in a
Santa
second here.
Claus.
Not for you.
So tonight we're going to, as a group, explore the Garden State Parkway virtually, and we will get that video underway in a second here, as soon as CPZ opens the
I
door.
can do that.
And are we having issues opening the front door? There we go.
Quick, announce your username.
Your username quickly.
Death to Pumpkins?
Death to Pumpkins.
Did you hear that? That's Death to
Pumpkinhead
Pumpkins on the
beer,
floor.
very
So we have.
I believe this is yours.
It is.
It's after Halloween, so all the pumpkins should be dead now anyway. Thank you. The ones
I missed you.
frozen? Alright.
So while you guys are settling in, I'll just go through some channel announcements real quick.
How come I don't get to talk, but you get to talk?
Because this is announcements for my channel right now. Yeah.
You're on
Listen,
Channel Alps.
you're going to have 2.5 hours to say whatever the heck you want.
I'm going to be
Okay?
quiet for 2.5 hours just to spite you.
That's fine with me too. You can do whatever you want.
I somehow don't
So
believe
the next installment of the online road meet series will take place next Saturday, November 16th at 12 o'clock. Hope you can join us for that. Looking forward to giving you guys a tour of some notable sites in Cape May County, New Jersey. I have started working on a year-end review webinar because, let's be honest, the year 2019 was insane for the channel. I'm hoping to do something in the month of December for that. As of probably tonight, this channel has eclipsed the 30 million views mark.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Mazel tov.
Absolutely.
You guys have been
Filter fish.
amazing fans from the very beginning. You guys have latched on to this for a number of years. Some of you go all the way back to 2010 when the channel started, and this channel would not be as popular as it is today without you guys. So thank you all very much. Winter 2020 road trip dates have been set. They are February 8th through 23rd, so I know I have a 2-week window to do something somewhere. As far as a destination, one has not been finalized as of yet.
Alaska.
But I mean,
Siberia.
winter. Yeah, you can go to Anchorage
E39.
in the winter.
Can't
Yeah,
get much worse in winter.
Actually, E39 isn't bad in winter because of the Gulf Stream.
well, let's see, he's got a point there. YouTube uploads. So we have moved on to Wisconsin in the channel. If you have been following along, and we'll be doing that through early December, at which point we'll transition into Chicagoland, Northern Indiana, Illinois, all that happy stuff.
Angry reacts only, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
And so that'll take us through the rest of 2019, and then before you know it, it'll be the spring of next year, and we'll be uploading whatever we film this coming winter. So the
Give or
cycle
take a
will
couple
start.
years.
A couple of years. At this rate, it's going to be more than that. So that's basically it. Now, we do have the privilege of being joined this evening by an individual who lives in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Now, with that said, I am going to give you the floor. I'm going to put something up on the screen, and I'm going to give you the floor for 30 seconds if you wish.
Okay, well,
Okay? You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, well, I'm actually a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Oh, no!
But I will say that I did attend one of the National League Division Series games against the Dodgers, and the Nationals didn't play all that well at home, and certainly not in the World Series.
No, they didn't.
They lost the game against the Dodgers at home as well, but they did win that series. But
Right.
I mean, all congratulations to the Nationals. But yeah, I believe it or not, even with as shitty of a season as the Orioles had, I'm a black and orange fan.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Go
It was-
Walgreens.
Walgreens.
All right. That's all I got for a slideshow. Nice and quick this week.
There is a new bridge. They are rebuilding the South Capitol Street Bridge right next to the National Stadium.
I did see that.
Yeah,
All right, folks. So this is what you came here for.
this looks like the Thruway.
This is
This is not what any of us came.
this is a 175-mile long video. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes in length. As I was remarking to a couple of the guys before we started the live stream, it'll be like watching The Last Jedi, except it'll be a good movie. Okay, so I hope you guys will get something out of this. This should be a lot of fun.
Mystery
And as
Road Geek Theater 3000.
and as we go through this, you know, we're going to be experiencing the Parkway in its entirety live. So we will be able to comment and, you know, talk about some of the highlights that we see along the way for the next couple hours. So
Eric Johnson says, "Shut up and start."
hope you'll. That's not what he said. That is not what he said. Who's ready? You guys ready?
Ready?
All right. On your marks,
I
get set,
can't
go.
hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
So this video begins on the westbound thruway at exit 14, and we'll soon transition onto the ramp at 14A, and we'll start heading south. We have 175 miles to reach Cape May from Spring Valley, New York.
Westbound, huh?
and 172.4 miles.
It is I
of which are
287
Garden
west.
It is.
But it is primarily I-87 north, using I-87's exit numbers.
State Park. It does
One of
not.
three-
It does
one of
not.
I-87
No, it
numbers.
uses
No,
the
no.
throughways
This is
exit
the
numbers.
throughways
That's
exit numbers.
true.
It certainly isn't using I-287's exit numbers.
It is using 287s as much as 87s because New York is screwy.
Yes.
These exit numbers belong to no one. Also, this was originally 287 and not 87.
That is true.
Yes.
And
That is also true, yes.
It was actually I can recall when it was signed also to Interstate 87.
Makes sense.
And I don't remember. I think that was about as far, maybe as far north, somewhere around Harriman. In theory, 87 was supposed to tie back into the thruway.
It was supposed to cross at Newburgh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's-
With
yeah.
Newburgh?
Yes.
Okay.
It
all
went
right,
to
Newburgh.
684 and back on 84.
All right, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
That's
And it
not
was
far
supposed to
away.
actually take the east side of the Hudson, which I think was 487
Yes.
proposed. So
Yes.
that I think if they had built that all the way up, that would have become 87.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're on what is known as the Garden State Parkway connector. This is a
Right.
part of the New York State Thruway system.
And it
Uh,
allows trucks.
Yes, technically not a parkway.
Yeah.
This part right here allows trucks. So
Yes. There is.
Well, the
Up
Parkway
until
al-
the first exit.
Well, the
'cause I guess you
Parkway
gotta
allows
exit before you get to
south-
New
yeah.
Jersey.
Exit
South 105,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
More on that later, folks.
more than
Yes.
that later.
Yeah, so technically to the state line, this is a expressway, not a parkway, but trucks are forced off because at the state line they're not allowed, and so they have to get out before them.
And after this exit up here is the only part of the throughway system that bans trucks.
And the reason I introduced my qualifications before, one interesting note is the Garden State Parkway, under control of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, of course, will have to sometimes close a lane at the border to do work. So interagency coordination gets a little interesting. They don't deal with the Thruway Authority very often because they don't do work very often on the Southbound Parkway up there. That's the only connection they have.
Right.
So they don't have the same kind of relationship that they do with the Pennsylvania Turnpike, where they maintain a bridge together.
Right.
And so it's not necessarily a smooth coordination to get a lane closure in there if you need it. And they also have to start pretty far back up here because there's not straightaways
Right.
after this point.
Yeah, but at this point, all trucks are forced off.
Yeah.
So-
That's really the main reason why this exit is here, so that
Yeah.
trucks can bail at
It's
the
a
last
truck
minute.
bail exit.
Is there?
It's also the companion to 172.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Have
Yeah.
you noticed, for those that drive the Garden State, the Washington area, the NPS parkways are really getting infested with trucks that aren't supposed to be there. Does Garden State
Yeah.
have a problem with guys with car GPSs?
Welcome to New Jersey.
Welcome to
Hey.
Jersey.
Yeah,
The governor of New
you get a
Jersey is
few
filling up my
trucks
cousin
trying to
Murphy.
sneak their way on. They're usually local
Yes.
guys
Oh,
going for a couple exits, hoping they don't get noticed.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think people tend to get lost on there.
No.
New York has a huge issue with
yes.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Garden State Parkway, you very rarely see an errant truck on.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think I ever have
Most
seen one.
trucks know that.
No, the only thing
I've
I've
seen at least
noticed
one.
an uptick of lately in regards to trucks is them using the left lane where they're not permitted to, where it's clear.
Yeah. Oh, everywhere.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Because that's just not enforced.
Yeah, because you have
No.
Pennsylvania drivers in the center lane. How do you get around them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that's worth noting at this point is that in the Garden State Parkway is pretty standard method of trying to at least minimize the number of free rides available, at least before they went one way on all the toll
Right,
plazas.
yeah.
That one exit in New York is the last southbound formal exit for quite a while. The next one will not be until after a toll plaza,
Right.
and in
Correct,
the meantime there will be several southbound on ramps.
And you could use that service area and shoot out the back. We were discussing.
Yeah, that's
Hence why I said
cool.
formal exit ramps.
Yeah.
Sign.
Caveat intentional.
Well, some people with high qualifications, they use things where it says "do not enter."
Now, I would just like to point out at this point that we've just passed a service area. Now,
Yep.
most of the turnpikes and throughways in the Northeast have these service area stop locations where you have, your gas station and your restaurant and restroom facilities and all that. The Parkway is more or less identical to highways like New Jersey Turnpike, New York State Thruway in that regard. They do have service areas at a certain interval along the length of the highway. So the Montvale one that we just passed is one of the more larger ones, I think. But
Yeah.
we'll pass a lot of those. You'll
Yeah.
see a lot of that along the way tonight.
Back until Jersey raised their gas tax, Montvale was a very common
Yeah.
detour for people traveling on the New York State Thruway because it's only 3 miles south of the Thruway. Once upon a time, gas was a good 30-40 cents cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks to the existence of the informal exit, you turn there.
So
Yes.
two facts about that. I'll start with the gas. On the Garden State Parkway, New Jersey Turnpike, every week the gas price is set on Monday based on the
Yes.
average of gas prices in that part of New Jersey.
Yes.
So it could be different in north and south, but the point is no one is getting gouged on these roadways.
Right.
It is a fair price,
Right.
which is very rare among
Yeah.
toll agencies. Usually
Yes.
it's
Right.
priced according to your
Yeah.
availability to get
It
off
was
of
about the New Jersey Turnpike gas prices were about 7 cents more than what I got today stopping
Yeah.
at Chesapeake House in Maryland, which I don't know. Maryland used to be high on gas prices. Now it's cheap compared to other states.
The other thing I want to point out is that the rest area had all left exits and entrances. And as we've noted, there are a lot of exits up here that are only one directional.
Yep.
Both of those problems are something the Turnpike Authority wants to solve along the Parkway.
With
Not
flyovers.
necessarily in their next capital program, but in the future, they want to. They now know where all of these areas are,
Yeah.
and so how will they put in a southbound exit for 172, 171? How will they make Montvale? Are they going to try to make Montvale right exits? You could.
Could.
They're looking at all the rest
Complicated,
areas,
yeah.
all the left
Expensive.
exits and entrances that they have, and they're just saying for now, we want to know where these are. We want to see, are there some of these we can knock out fairly easily? And if so, they want to get to those. So things like, we'll see some more further down the parkway where there's more land. Those are probably going to get tackled earlier in the process.
Yeah.
So were they going to do flyovers or what?
Yeah, just reconfigure the interchanges. Keep in mind, a lot of these were built in the 50s, early 60s, so they're coming due anyway. And if you have to replace a bridge, like you'll see at New Jersey 17 pretty soon, they rebuilt the parkway in the middle and they turned the left ramps into right ramps.
Yeah.
We're going to see
That
more
used
of
to
that
be,
as they rebuild things.
That used to be a mess, and it's much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll
Better now.
we'll see that in a couple of minutes. But
Yeah. And
you
we'll-
guys have
I'll keep talking as we see more left exits.
Is
and
there,
entrances.
are any of
Yeah.
those service plazas classified by the Turnpike Authority or by New Jersey DOT as high crash locations?
I don't even know that.
Okay.
I've only looked at that data for the Turnpike, maybe and Parkway interchanges, but not. None of them. I'll put it this way: the Turnpike has worse
Toll
crashes
plaza
overall
here.
because of the trucks,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
their focus area. The Parkway
Yeah.
doesn't tend to rise to that standard.
Parkway.
this is our first toll plaza,
Yep.
and you will see
Southbound
several
only.
of those. Most of the toll plazas on the Parkway are one directional, so
There is
there will
one
be
exception.
One exact one left that
and
does
we
not have a
will
way to
we will
carry
come
out.
to that.
But
yes.
this
We'll get to
one
that.
was originally converted to two-way with Express Easy Pass in the middle,
Yeah.
shortly before they decided that they wanted to do one-way the entire way. So this was actually the first one that went two-way, and this was the first engineering project I worked on.
Was it really?
Yep, coming out as an intern, still in school.
Oh,
It was the Express Easy Pass
Were you
at
with
3 or 4
Were you
booths.
doing
Yep.
HNTB as an intern? You
Yep.
worked for HNTB?
Okay.
It looked like they still have meters up over the northbound lanes.
I don't think they have.
The-
If they have
I
equipment
think-
up, it's not functional. But
I think the infrastructure is still there,
Yeah.
but they just put barrier up and just sent people around.
yeah,
Right, and you'll notice how here with exit 165, another Garden State Parkway staple. In fact, you can see one on the left over there, the ramp toll, where this doesn't make a difference anymore since there's no more northbound toll. But the idea would be that if you got off there, and there's the on ramp one on the
Right.
southbound side, if you got off there, you would pay the toll because
Yep.
you wouldn't be going through the barrier toll.
Right.
Put down the phone and drive, folks.
yeah. But now that it's one way, you get into, for example, northbound to Bloomfield Avenue. You're better off going one more exit to Hoover Avenue,
Yes.
and because that was past the old toll booth, so that's a free exit instead of paying for it.
Yes.
And a lot of traffic now does just that. And
Well,
really
yeah.
change the traffic dynamics
Do-
near
do
these
you-
plazas.
Do you think that the Turnpike Authority, once they've converted the Parkway to cashless, they may go back to two-way tolls?
Given the fact that we don't yet have a precise timeline for going cashless,
Oh,
I could
okay.
say that's a good possibility because
I mean,
I don't think there's a firm plan in place for exactly what's going to happen yet.
yeah.
I don't think. I don't know.
Right.
So don't take my word as gospel on that. But
They don't have a plan yet. Wow.
nothing that I'm aware of. Internally, maybe, but nothing they've even told us.
Wow.
Turnpike either.
Basically, they know it's coming.
Yeah.
They probably have a better idea of what they're going to do than any consultant does. Put it that way.
Well, sure.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, but even if we're quote unquote on the inside, we don't really know what their plan is. One way versus two way, couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
It
I
would
mean,
make sense for them to just
That's
do
what I could do.
barrier tolls across the parkway at set intervals,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and just
that's
that's it.
that's basically
Mass
what Pennsylvania's
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah, that's
Pennsylvania's going to do exactly that.
Yeah,
And,
Pennsylvania.
and that's Mass Pike did that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe a
Mass
couple
Pike
of
did that.
key interchanges you might want to grab the ramps for, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see the turnpike following in Maine's footsteps though and not going cashless.
Maine is going cashless in about 2 years.
They
They're
are.
not on the turnpike. They're building a brand new toll plaza.
Yeah, they're building new toll
They're building
plazas,
new toll
but
plaza, but
the
it's-
intent they're already talking cashless up there.
Oh, that's the
And
first I've heard of it.
They're
Because last
talk-
I heard, they were still concerned
Yeah.
that there was too high a volume of people who don't have easy pass.
They're talking cashless
Yeah.
now. It seems like it's going to be an eventuality up there.
Ohio is not cashless anytime soon.
No.
No,
Ohio
Ohio,
was
not
also-
Indiana.
Ohio also
Ohio was also
didn't even
the
adopt
last
Easy
one to
Pass
adopt Easy
until-
Pass.
They're one-
Yeah,
Right.
Maine is building
Yeah.
toll plazas still, but I mean,
They really
so-
did it
so
to
is
accommodate
New Jersey,
out of
so
state
is
Yeah.
more so than
Yeah.
in-state.
So
Yeah.
they're building it knowing they may not last terribly long, but you have to have it.
Yeah, similar to the current Exit 16 Plaza on the Thruway, which was built as a temporary
Yep.
plaza.
And interestingly, on the Parkway, they've done that in a few locations. They put in islands that can be easily removed at interchanges, so that you have low speed Easy Pass with islands, and then you pull out the islands and it becomes medium speed
Oh,
Easy
good.
Pass. So they're
Easy Pass, or we take a picture of your plate.
well, that is the current thinking. But when they put it
Yeah.
in, they were just thinking Easy Pass just
Yeah.
a few years ago, and we'll get down there.
Yeah, so we're coming up on our first interstate highway junction here.
There have been a
with
pair of
80.
merges that are not interchanges.
We're gonna pass a few interstate highways along the way. 80 is the first one on the list.
Here's your northbound only toll that complements the
Yeah.
southbound only one we went through.
Yep,
Correct.
that's right.
The third highest volume toll on the system, Bergen.
Oh, okay.
Not surprising.
On the Parkway system, or
Yep, Union Essex Bergen.
Yeah,
Right,
that's-
am I
okay.
missing Passaic in there?
there's no Passaic.
No.
Then yeah, Union Essex Bergen.
yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
No, right, Raritan. Raritan,
Well-
Union Essex Bergen.
Okay, for a second there, I was concerned you were just naming counties. Then
Yeah.
But in terms of congestion, I should say, it was the third most congested
Yeah,
location.
that-
Well, that I believe.
Union
Well-
Essex Bergen. And
Well-
Raritan was not as congested, even though it's high volume.
Yeah.
Ariton has high speed Easy Pass, right?
Yes, several lanes thereof.
That's what I thought.
But also, just because it had more lanes in general,
Yeah.
it didn't see the types
Yeah,
of
but-
delays that you saw.
Yeah, but Ariton has what?
For
Five express Easy
five,
Pass
yeah.
lanes.
So the impetus for one-way tolling on the Parkway was the Essex Union area, and because that backed up so notoriously, they said, "All right,
I remember
southbound toll Essex, northbound toll Union, so that area in between can get cleared out." My family used to live up at 151, so we'd go through the Essex toll, and we'd be sitting.
Because it's only 8 miles
I remember
between
that.
barriers,
I
right?
remember that.
So
Yeah,
it,
this is
yeah.
pretty
Remember-
easy pass
yeah.
entirely.
Yeah.
I remember that traffic even after Easy Pass us.
So that's that was the pattern. They said, all right, if Union's one way north and Essex is one way south, that dictated every other plaza from there.
I see.
And that's what they went with. And I think they picked Tom's River as the two-way because it was about halfway through.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when we get down there, I was going to ask you about that, but I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't think they had to pick one so that would be fair in both directions. I could come
But
up with
also
other
note
theories as we
that
get
the
there.
last exit was also for 46.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just crossed the Passaic River
and
into
all of the exit numbers here are off by 2
Passaic
miles.
County.
Passaic County. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exit 154 is at mile 156.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's off from Route 17 at 163 is correct. and then 166 is at 165, and 168 is
Yeah, and then it gets screwy for a while,
It's
like
not
until
really
you
for a
get to
while.
Union. I
both
think.
north and south
Yeah.
of 163 is
Yeah.
They have fixed some of them, but
I can remember seeing fairly recently where they would have an old sign next to the old
Yeah.
interchange number.
So 132 they fixed because of numbering A, B, C in order to meet MUTCD criteria.
Oh.
They said it's just easier to make this 132 instead of the 131 A, B, C.
Oh,
And they did
okay.
that again further south, and we'll see all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was they renumbered if it made sense at the time
Yeah.
to minimize confusion.
Mm,
But they're not going to go through this stretch and move things by 1 or 2.
Right.
This is what it is.
yeah. Okay.
One of the things I find curious, and I don't know if you have any insight on this, Steve, is there some parts of the Garden State Parkway are not very parkway-ish. They don't have the quote look and feel of
They
parkway.
all were to start.
But there are some sections that are really quite bucolic and still very much look like, by golly, real parkways.
Everything looked like
Everything
Parkway when
started
it opened,
as
and it was traffic volumes.
Yeah.
Remember, it was owned by the New Jersey Highway Authority
That's true.
for decades.
Yeah.
They really were not. I don't want to say they weren't a good agency, but the Parkway tolls were very low. They did a minimum,
Yeah.
and so they acted. They didn't really try to preserve the Parkway at all. They just. That's why you had 6 lanes squeezed into 60 feet on the old Driscoll Bridge. And you had 5 lanes squeezed into less than 50 feet approaching 280 northbound.
I remember
It was,
that.
they just,
Right.
if we need another lane, they threw in another lane.
Wow.
If they had a place to put pavement, they put pavement. That was their methodology.
And the key was
Convert
that
the
with no trucks
shoulders.
allowed, you can squeeze those lanes a little
Yeah,
more.
so,
Sure.
so that sort of ruined some of the Parkway nature. They preserved some of it with the
Right.
arch bridges, but they
Yeah.
killed a lot of it.
Now, here's another trivia question for those that know. What's a correct pronunciation of Secaucus?
Yes.
Is it Secaucus or Secaucus?
Secaucus.
Because I can remember sometimes people
It-
on
it could be
TV
both.
pronouncing it Secaucus.
I've heard it both,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Secaucus
But
is
accepted
more
is-
usual.
Secaucus.
But if you say Secaucus, no one's going to give you a side eye.
Okay.
No, not at all.
I hear enough of it.
The one that'll definitely give you a dirty look in Virginia is if you say Staunton. It's
Stanton.
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 Oh.
So here's a left exit that they want to try to fix, and it's something I took a look at. I took a look at all the left exits
Oh,
for them,
yes.
and
Oh, that looks sharp. You're
yeah,
right.
the reaction,
That's
the best,
that's
the
a-
best
It
we
is.
could do with this one, I
That's a
figured
hard
out, was
one.
extend the deceleration lane much further than it is.
You have to widen that bridge. a
In
little
order
bit.
to fix this, you would have to elevate this parkway over Route 3,
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
and the exits would probably have to be the under level.
Oh yeah. You,
Oh wow.
It would be
You'd
you'd have
have
to
to,
take
like-
out the Allwood Road Park and Ride and just move everything around completely. So
That's not,
not
good.
really.
short term,
Short
short
not-
term, we said just lengthen the decel lane.
Okay.
Long term, they're going to have to look at some serious fixes.
Okay.
So Route 3 is a pain northbound, especially. There's a lot of backup. Southbound, they get by with that exit, but northbound, there's sight distance around a curve. You have the sudden left
Route
exit.
3 is always them.
So
Anyway,
yeah,
but
that you may be seeing something there soon. I don't know where they're prioritizing it, but that's going to be a complete rebuild. And I don't think that's
So-
going to be anytime soon.
Is it correct that the turnpike will not do things like the highway authority did in terms of adding capacity by putting in super narrow lanes? Are they trying to say no
Come,
to
ba-
things
come
like
back
that?
to that when we pass exit 80.
Okay.
That's a longer topic. I want to point out here that Brookdale North is one of the rare plazas that does not have food options. It's a gas station
Yeah.
and there's a police outpost.
As opposed to
It-
Brookdale South, which was
That's
just
not-
passed on the
Brookdale
right.
South.
What was that
McDonald's.
McDonald's sign about that?
That's Brookdale South.
Brookdale South.
Okay.
And Brookdale North and South are an example of the service plazas on the outside. Brookdale South,
two of
as a kid, you knew that you could go through the gate to get to McDonald's and come out the other side and not pay the toll that you pay at 151. You can still do that by going through the McDonald's drive-thru, but you have to be a total dick to do that without ordering something.
So you do that, correct?
You could do that.
No, I'm saying you do that.
What did I do last time? I plead the fifth.
Okay, so that's a yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to bring in Rudy Giuliani to defend
Yeah,
it.
so I lived
boy.
off of the McDonald's
Yeah,
exit.
Brookdale North also doesn't have restrooms either, right?
I think the gas station does in their little building.
I think there's a little building.
Yeah, I think because I think
at
they
this
have
and
to.
at this and at Colonia they have a small.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who
Colonial
work there
North
got a
and
piece
South.
of
Well, yeah, obviously, but
Yeah.
I remember.
I think they're
Oh,
there if you need.
I
them.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if these having a sign that says "No public restrooms."
But they redid Brookdale North not too long ago.
Oh,
Yes,
so
and Colonia
that
they redid.
that
Okay.
might be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, extent.
so it's possible to change it.
Yeah.
Where,
Here's our next toll plaza, folks.
Yeah, the infamous Essex tolls.
Yeah.
I
I
fucking hate
I
this plaza.
have vivid
Language.
memories.
I have stories about this plaza.
I have vivid
I grew up with
memories
this plaza.
as a kid of every summer when my family would go down to Wildwood and the Jersey Shore and my dad chucking coins into the basket. This is the plaza I most often associate with.
Waiting in line for 15 minutes just to get
Yeah.
to
Right.
Just to
Just to pay 35 cents.
And
Yeah.
half the booths were red lights because
Yes.
no one
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I remember coming through there. We were coming back from Maine. This is a long time. And I think the tolls on the Parkway then were a quarter.
Yep, I remember that when I was a kid.
And my dad was pretty good at throwing that quarter into the
Yep.
basket without stopping.
And even if it didn't register, you wouldn't be in trouble.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So I want to point out here, until recently, 149 was signed Belleville Avenue, 148 was signed Bloomfield Avenue.
Okay.
As anyone who lives there would know them as, not as 506 and 509
Oh,
and all that.
506.
But the New Jersey Turnpike Authority policy is you sign 500 routes as such, and the 600 routes you do not sign with a shield. So those would still have road names, but anything with a 500, they've taken away the road names by policy, which, as a one-size-fits-all policy, happens to not work in this
Yeah,
particular
yeah.
area.
well, and they don't sign the 5 or the 600s on the Turnpike at all.
The 500s,
There's
if
one-
they don't now, they will going forward.
Isn't there one down at south
Exit
of
5,
exit 1?
541.
Isn't it, the only one I can remember is down at after exit 1 toll plaza.
Well, exit 5 is 541, and I believe they will
No,
be signing
in
that once they
Northbound,
replace the signs.
there was no. There was
No, there's
shield
not
in
yet,
there.
but there will be
Oh, I
next
see,
time they
okay,
replace it.
okay.
Yeah, south of exit 1, they have County Route 540, but
Yeah.
that you have US 40 and NJ 140, so I
Yeah.
don't think they'd even bother signing that.
Where does the old free Garden State Parkway that's still? Where does that?
That
kicks
kicks in at 140
Yeah,
and
140.
down to
Okay.
131 or
Technically,
Yeah,
it's
It's free.
141.
Yeah, it's free 141.
so. And when we get there, I'm going to want to spend a
Down to-
minute talking about why that's a free section.
Yeah.
Those are built by NJDOT. Move on.
Well,
Yeah. I mean,
or
it's,
its predecessor, I guess.
Spoiler alert. That's it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah,
comes our next Interstate Junction,
NJDT.
which is the
That's
subject of a
exactly.
major reconstruction
Yeah.
project going on
Yeah, this
right
is
now for the next few years.
Yep.
And also the subject of the produce section.
yes.
The orange.
The oranges! Woo!
This I hate this interchange.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
And this was a
So-
case where FHWA said you can't use the oranges or the Rockaways, and Turnpike Authority said
Screw
it's the
you.
oranges.
Well,
That-
FHWA can't tell the Turnpike Authority about that, can they?
They could tell New Jersey, we're not funding you if you have the oranges on the sign.
Okay. All right.
But
Really?
I doubt they're going to have to do that
Right.
unless
That's
they're
just-
listening to this.
So what's greened out next to 280 on that
That's
side?
a 508.
That's closed right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because the ramp
What's
movement to 508 is closed because of the project.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Pass it around,
I don't.
please.
They're not really going after that stuff. But yeah, the goal of this is to have 2 entrance lanes from 280 onto the Southbound Parkway. It's a huge bottleneck right
Oh
now.
yeah.
oh yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
because that's an underpass and a 3-level interchange, that's why it's a total reconstruction. They're pushing out the retaining wall, which you'll see in a moment.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so here you have 145 over,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a Y interchange, so coming under at the same time, under there to the right.
Oh okay.
They've got to dig that out.
That's
further
the on-ramp
to
from
get 2
280.
lanes.
Yes, the
Yeah.
So
That-
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
That's a
little
lot of
while.
money. It sounds like.
I think this project is scheduled to run through the end of 2022,
I believe that.
and
Yeah.
it'll probably
You
go
see
longer
that there's a
than that.
construction. That's the first cantilevering out the one roadway so they can get the 2 lanes in. And they've already done the opposite, which is 2 lanes onto 280 westbound from the Parkway interchange, and that has helped quite a bit. The other thing they're doing is they're replacing the bridge just south of the interchange so that you get 5 full lanes northbound, because when they had the 5 lanes that were 48 feet wide, the Turnpike Authority finally decided to just stripe it back to 4 lanes again, deal with the congestion getting off the 280 exit for a few years until they could rebuild the bridge, because the right lane was the right 2 lanes were 8 foot wide each.
So
It was you
It
could
was
only
tight.
go it was like
was
the
tight.
Goethals Bridge or the outer Williamsburg. You had to go 1 1 1 1 alternating. No one could pass each other, and so
Yeah.
Well, you could, but
Jackie Robinson.
at the end of this project, they'll have 2 deceleration lanes instead of 1, and it'll
Good.
fix
Good.
those
it would
problems.
really be threading needle. You could fit though.
Yeah.
I would pass there.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, but
Absolutely.
I can take this.
I got this.
it's your test of your New Jersey driving skills.
I may or may not have passed. on,
this
you
is
know, narrow
interesting. They
shoulders
signed this
before.
as 2 NJ 124. NJ 124 does not begin until the Irvington border. So within Irvington, that's just Springfield Avenue. They decided it was easier to sign this 2 124 rather than try to sign it Springfield Avenue. And then the next exits are Maplewood and Irvington rather than have street names.
Mm,
And that's the direction they're going.
okay.
Less helpful to locals.
Yeah.
But the signs aren't for locals.
No?
no.
But if they're for the unfamiliar driver is probably looking for street names because that's how everyone refers to things.
Unfamiliar drivers aren't exiting here.
Unfamiliar drivers have Quebec plates. They're going to exit 63.
Exactly. Or further south.
Or exit 6, because a lot of them get
Yeah.
off at exit 6.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
Sorry,
love
Carl.
Wildwood and Cape May.
Well,
Yeah.
and all right. Well, so the other thing then is, did 124 ever extend into Newark? Or
Yes.
Was it 20, so
When it was
Yes.
24,
when,
did.
all right, as I say, 24 did. I don't think
124 made it into Irvington for a while,
Right.
and then got further truncated.
Right.
But yeah, 24 went downtown, met up with 10 and 9 and all those good routes.
Right, and in classic New Jersey style, 124 is old 24. They do that on several occasions.
Not a whole lot. I mean, 324 is old 322.
Slight
Uh-huh.
variation on
Yeah,
that.
I don't know how I came up with that example.
Yeah.
73 is old 22.
Here's our next
But
Interstate
122 is
Junction
also,
here.
so.
But yeah, but 122 is also old 22.
I was here today.
I-78.
Not in this direction, but the other direction.
A now complete interchange.
A now
but wasn't
complete
for-
interchange,
But wasn't
yeah.
for a long time.
For a very long time.
Yeah, so they completed the missing movements of this, about a decade ago?
Yeah.
About
less.
that, yeah.
Yeah, a
Okay.
little,
Yeah,
And
it
the
was
reason...
It was still
This
under
is-
construction 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
like 2012 or so.
So the ramp movements that were missing were from northbound to Parkway to westbound, which is that big flyover we just went under.
I was on that
And
today.
then
Eastbound,
Were you?
southbound.
Okay. Eastbound to southbound. And the reason why those movements were missing is because of...
No, southbound to eastbound, you mean?
No,
to
eastbound,
south-
southbound.
Eastbound to southbound was always there.
All right, well, whatever. But the point is, there were missing movements
Yes.
at this interchange. And the reason they were missing is because of the planned extension of Interstate
Oh, yeah, southbound,
278,
eastbound, right.
extending from the Goethals Bridge on out to roughly the area of the I-78
Probably
Route 24
24.
interchange.
And NJ 75 for the southbound to eastbound that Bill correctly pointed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that.
The hypothetical I-278 Garden State Parkway interchange would have supplied those missing movements.
But since
Correct.
it was never built.
Instead, for a long time, you had to U-turn via local roads.
And from
Yeah.
southbound to eastbound, the idea was you take 280 to 75 to 78.
Yeah.
So
Now
this
we've
interchange is about to get rebuilt on the side.
is it
Not the Parkway part, but the 2282 part.
okay?
I'm working on that.
Oh boy.
Now we've passed exit 140, so we're
To be fair, though,
entering.
the traffic is on 22 either side of that.
So we're entering what is considered a free section of the Parkway now at exit 140, and this is going to go on for about 8 or 9 miles.
Yeah, it's free until
Now-
about State Route 440. This
It's
morning.
about Metro Park is where the free designation
My people love
officially
this
ends.
stretch.
But
Who are your people?
My people.
his people.
The chosen ones. The chosen people.
Now, well, and this is useful too, because if you're trying to head south and not pay tolls, it can get very slow to stay on 1 and 9 through this section. But if you
Yes.
take 22 to
Yeah.
the Parkway, you don't pay a toll, and it is faster.
A lot faster.
So at this juncture, I have to address some of the history of the construction of the
Yeah.
Parkway.
Yeah.
The Parkway was built in pieces, starting in the late 40s and going through the late 50s.
And
Originally, it was designed as a free highway, so there were not supposed to be tolls on it at all, per the original concept of the highway. They
Designated
built.
as-
There were 3 sections that were built under this, idea. We're on one of them right now. The section from 131 to 140 was built.
Right.
There's another section from exit 80 to 83. That's a free section. And there's another section from 9 to 11 that is free.
Is that the part where that was where the at-grade intersection?
Yes.
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 Now, those 3 sections were built, and the state of New Jersey ran out of money. So, in order to finish the parkway as they envisioned, they decided to create a toll highway authority to build the rest of it and charge tolls on the sections that were not already built
Right.
in order to facilitate construction of the remaining highway.
Right.
And that is why this section has never had tolls on it before. And the 3 sections that I mentioned have never had them,
And
and probably
it is a
never will.
condition of operating this highway that whichever agency owns it can never institute tolls, at least on the existing capacity. I bring that up that if they want to do HOT lanes or the like, express lanes,
Get them!
this has not been addressed, and it would have to be looked into very closely. But theoretically,
Top
that
lanes are
might
probably
be
allowed.
allowable.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Well, that'd
Yeah.
be the sort of situation that when the agreement was written, nobody would have even thought of that because it was
Yeah.
decades from existing.
Well, yeah.
And the
Right.
interesting thing is, when the agreement was written, this stretch was 3 lanes each way. So can you toll the other 2 lanes that were built since that agreement was initiated, and just have this as a 3 plus whatever? They've never tested this, so we don't know the answers.
But the Turnpike Authority maintains this faithfully, even though they're not collecting money on it, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is critical to them. This
I mean-
stretch right here is very critical to
Yeah.
them because of the safety issues.
Because of what it connects at each end.
The
Absolutely.
Turnpike Authority's goal is 0 fatalities every year. And so any stretch that is more dangerous, such as this one with high volumes, narrow lanes, curves, low bridges,
How wide are these lanes?
closely spaced exits, these are 10 feet.
He's got to be 10
So-
feet, right?
It's not as
Considering the issues here with these historic bridges, no shoulders,
Yeah. These are original parkway overpasses
Right.
built in the late 40s
Yep.
that mimic the stone arch
So picture
design
them
that
with
you
only
see
3
elsewhere.
lanes
I was
under
going to
each
say, at least
one.
half of them is original.
No, they're original.
Yeah, it's
The
full
whole
original.
thing.
They
There's
just had a
3
lot of-
lanes with shoulders and a little bit of grass before you
They
got
had
to
spare
the...
space under there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, in order to touch these, to widen the lanes, to add shoulders, or even to add lanes, they've got to completely rebuild all of these historic bridges that are part of the state historic resource of the Garden State Parkway.
Ooh.
So, basically, the bridge is going to have to be practically falling down before they're going to be able to do anything. And they're going to have to be very careful about what it looks like when they repair it, sort of like the Merritt Parkway.
Yeah.
It's going to be that level of detail and care.
And I have to. And I
They
have
never
to,
get widened as a result of that.
I have to ask the question.
Oh, yeah.
I've been wondering, because as I said, this is part of the free original parkway, more or less.
Right.
And I often wonder if they had been able to build this out as a free parkway in its entirety as they envisioned, would this kind of design for overpasses translated all the way down the shore and all the way up
Probably.
back north?
Yeah.
It probably would have looked a lot like this,
Yeah,
right?
because again, when they
Yeah.
built the original stretches, even through, except I guess through the very center of Essex County, but in Passaic, everywhere else, 2 to 3 lanes, grass median, trees on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So you would expect this design.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw in there, this was, the original free designation was Parkway 4. So
Oh.
NJ State Highway 4 was the
Yeah.
state highway designation that followed US 9, more or less US 9. In some parts it was original 9, which became NJ 35 now. But from Cape May all the way to George Washington Bridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you followed the plan for Parkway 4, would have followed what's now the Garden State Parkway, which is internally numbered 444 for that exact reason.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is that where they came up with
Yep.
that? Okay.
So if you follow that up to Patterson, you have exit 155A now, which is formerly 155P, and that's the Patterson spur. It used to have exits 156P, 157P numbered on it.
Wow.
Oh,
But
okay.
the idea was 4 Parkway would have gone up that spur through Patterson onto what's now 4.
Oh,
That stretch of 4,
Really?
and if you drive that stretch of 4, it has a lot of parkway-like features to it.
that's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
So that was the plan, was
That's
to go from
interesting.
Cape May around through Patterson out to the George Washington that way.
Wow.
No kidding. Wow.
So
That's very cool.
So when they built the parkway, by the time they got around to the toll road, they decided it would go past Patterson. And so they built that spur intending to complete it with various intents over the years to do various things to it. But it ended in Paramus because it was never intended to go to the state line and connect to the thruway. That idea came up much later.
Wow,
It was intended to hook to the GW.
that's interesting.
Huh.
Did not know that.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. Well, we have over 40 people watching us right now, and we would like to say hello to all of our viewers right now.
Most of them.
Um,
The ones who are not overexcited.
and if you guys are watching us and enjoying this show, drop us a line to let us know where you're watching from tonight. We would love to know what parts of North America our viewers are joining us from.
I'm joining from somewhere
An undisclosed
north of New
location
Jersey.
in the state
Yeah.
of New York.
Roadway Whiz HQ is where you're joining us from.
So here we're approaching former exit 131, which is now 132, and former exit 131A, which is now 131.
Right here in Sneezetown, New Jersey.
So the issue
Say
here
what now?
was
Metuchen, bless you.
Oh, man.
wow. All right, I'm muting Anthony for this one.
This just means more beer is needed.
Anthony,
So
Not Metuchen.
touch it. So the
Sorry,
issue.
put this on.
grab me one, Anthony.
The issue that led to this becoming 132, not
That's
only
the
is it
Steve
at
Albert show.
milepost 132,
Oh, amazing.
but the northbound direction has 131A and 131B, and then 131.
Oh,
So they could have called this 131C,
Right.
but then southbound you would have had 131C and 131A with no B. And they decided just calling this 132 would clean up that issue.
right.
And thus, this was born. Now, this doesn't solve the problem that southbound 131 is the same as northbound 131A,
Right.
which is technically not the
Oh,
way
this
to
is
go.
for you, Dan.
Thank you.
And
I don't know who that's for.
it's for whoever wants it.
If any viewers want a beer, we have an extra one floating around.
Actually, yes,
Yeah.
there's quite a few.
Talking a lot,
It's
you might be
extra
thirsty.
cider.
Nah, guys.
Yeah.
While you should never consume alcohol while driving, if you would like to consume alcohol while watching videos of driving from the comfort of your own home, we encourage it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah!
Dilly dilly.
4 more beers!
Yeah.
4 more beers!
Pass all your 4 beers down to him.
And you're going to
Okay?
need to be super drunk by the time we get to exit 80 because all hell's breaking loose there.
Oh, yeah!
Okay. So here's exit 130. This is where we have now left the free parkway.
Now signed as
We've only got
PA.
50 miles. Drink
No,
up.
it's free until
There you see the
129.
Jersey exit.
And we have another interstate highway coming up.
Yes.
Boo.
I-95, which
Ooh.
actually
Was not supposed to be there.
was the
Yeah.
first
No,
interstate that I actually took pride in clinching from end to end.
Well,
I have to
no,
say
here,
that when
here it
I...
would have been there, because it's north of 287.
No, it was supposed
Shore
to be on a
points.
parallel alignment all the way through Essex.
Yes, the incorporated village of Shore Points is the
Yes.
control city now. And the control city on the parkway south from here will change a few times, as you'll see.
This is my favorite interchange in New Jersey. It involves routes 1, 9, 95, 444, 501, 514, 287, 440. It's
like
everything.
this
comes
whole
together.
several square mileage area is like one
It's
big
rad.
interchange.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
one massive interchange.
This
Yeah.
is something that
It's
If
a big old
you
bowl of
draw,
spaghetti.
Oh,
yeah,
by
if
the
you
way,
draw,
that bridge is original to the Parkway and Turnpike overcrossing.
yes,
What
yes,
about the one that goes? The one that goes? Is that the one that goes diagonally
Yeah.
over
Yep.
the boat?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
I noticed, and
I want to point
and
out
I
the
noticed
other
that I never noticed it before today. That the pier caps are not concrete; they are all steel.
Yes.
And
Yep.
part
Yep.
of the Parkway Bridge over the Turnpike is also original.
Oh,
It's been widened multiple times, but the original part
The
is still
original
there.
concrete, which was a
Yeah,
stone-faced
a couple of lanes
overpass.
each way.
Wow.
Is still original.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but that
no,
was
that's
notable.
fine. That I've been over that bridge the topmost one time, and you do get quite a bit of impressive view
Yeah.
of highways from up there.
There is a relatively well-known photo from the Turnpike level I think it's 3 lanes each way, but
Right, I've seen
maybe
that.
2 lanes
Yep.
each way. Very wide median.
Yep.
Looking up at the newly built Parkway and Woodbridge Avenue overpasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it was
So we're coming up on the Driscoll Bridge here, which is the widest highway bridge in America. Is
the
that
Governor
5
Alfred
lanes?
E. Driscoll Bridge. Capiche?
I mean,
Capiche.
I would say no on the basis that it's actually 2
Yeah.
close and parallel spans.
Yeah.
But it's one.
Is there anything else?
It's one crossing,
Yeah.
right?
It's the most lanes. It's the most lanes of a single named crossing.
Yes. But there are.
And I'm
Get
not.
your lane.
Get in your lane, asshole.
But considering that it's not the.
And keep
I'm not
right.
sure that it is the widest
Motherfucker.
single structure, which would be the northbound side, which was the original Parkway in
Oh,
both
okay.
directions,
Yeah.
which would be a little over 120 feet wide.
Wow.
So we have 7 lanes southbound and 8 lanes northbound.
Northbound, as I said, it was original. Now it's 4 lanes
Yeah.
on both sides, but it was as many as 6 back in the day.
Plus, immediately adjacent, you have 6 lanes of US 6. So,
6 or 8?
Northbound.
Nine.
US 9.
Turn that 6 upside down, dude.
I'm sorry, US 9.
Yep.
Yeah, the Edison Bridge is immediately to our left, and
Yeah.
to the left of that is the Victory Bridge for Route 35.
A lot of capacity here.
And as we touch down, we're going to pass, I believe,
yeah.
what's the only Easy Pass only exit on the
Yes.
Parkway as of right now.
Yes, right.
And
now.
that's for the development you see to the right there.
Is that what that is?
Yes,
Okay.
that wide empty field, that's development.
Future
That's
development.
relevant.
Oh no, that's
Two-lane
that's
exit.
that's to open this year, don't you know?
Oh, really?
8
Okay.
p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And we have our next toll plaza.
So yeah, there
Now
is-
you notice the
Ugly
wording of the
APMs.
overhead here, toll plaza bypass. I think that's the only
I've never seen
example
that
of
before.
that. Yeah.
But this exit, there is a development slowly going in there, but the Easy Pass only exit is the first example of the Turnpike Authority saying we want to complete the Interchange 125 that was partial.
Okay.
As I said, that's
Right,
going
'cause
forward.
it's-
That's going to be a higher priority for them to
Okay.
complete more partial.
Now,
interchanges.
once we get past the toll plaza, I don't know if you guys saw the yellow sign which says Parkway divides ahead. So
Right.
this parkway is going to divide into express and local lanes.
Right.
Now, for the purpose of tonight's...
Atlantic
Yeah,
City
for the-
Expressway, 89 miles.
That is correct. Now, for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to take the local lanes because that's where all the exits are.
All right.
But
There's interesting stuff in the express lane.
no, there really isn't.
Not
There
really.
is.
Not
At 117, it gets interesting.
117.
It does.
No,
That's the only interesting
Yeah, that's
part.
the only
Once-
thing.
117 and
Well,
yeah.
past Cheesequake is also interesting. Any overpass, if you go under it on the local street, you'll see the new style and the old style Parkway bridges.
All right, that's not even visible from the
Yeah, that's
express
what we're
lanes,
talking
though. Now
about
you're talking
from-
about from the local streets.
But it's
Right.
it's an interesting concept that the locals were the original Parkway.
Yeah,
they
but
left
you
room
can't.
for the
You're
express.
traveling on the express lanes. You don't see it.
Did you not film these all at the same time?
Okay, so I should address this because Connor just asked a good question, and he gave me this really quizzical look about 20 seconds ago. So this footage was filmed all in September of this year.
Okay.
It was filmed in 3 distinct sections. So we just wrapped up our first film session from the state line all the way down to Cheesequake. Now we've just started on our second section.
But you stitched it together.
I stitched it all together, yeah.
Thank
Now-
you for clarifying that I'm not crazy.
Okay,
You
so
weren't-
you saw something switch.
Well, you're
over
not
there.
crazy in that regard, okay?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Now, actually,
move to New Hampshire.
there is one more transition that we will make, and I think you will be even more bug-eyed by that transition. But it does actually seamlessly come together.
So Cheesequake again.
The
left
sky
exit,
suddenly becomes blue.
left exit
Left
there.
exit.
You don't want to make that a right
So-
exit.
Spoiler alert.
However,
But
it is
100
the
and
right
but,
entrance, though.
but the idea here is that this was
Well,
all
that's A
filmed
new entrance.
continuously
True.
and was stitched together as one video,
It used to
so
only
that
come
we
in
could
the
do this
Express,
presentation. And you could really, like the way that I film, you could do this for any
And it used to
highway.
only be
It doesn't.
accessible
It doesn't have to be the
from the
parkway. It
express
could
lane.
You could
be
stitch
the highways
park-
up in your
You
area.
could
It
stitch
could
the
be.
Parkway into 84.
You could stitch it into the throughways,
Yeah.
which goes into 84, which goes into up his
95
way.
in Florida.
Yeah, you know.
Just stitch
Yeah.
it together.
have an
Yeah.
entire East Coast
Just
thing, just one giant East Coast.
Is there any
Yeah.
reason why they use the Core 10 steel
Yes.
barrier
Yes.
instead of the Jersey barrier?
Appearances.
Park light,
It was-
yes.
it was-
Is it
that
aesthetics?
reason.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's why all the overheads and everything. Now this is a very
Because
narrow
Rust is
stretch.
Parkway like.
This is a very narrow stretch of the Parkway. It is the narrowest stretch in terms of shoulder width and lane width south of the Raritan River.
Okay.
And you've got sensitive wetlands on both sides. So again, from a safety perspective, it'd be nice to widen this. From a sight distance, if you consider the guide rail an obstruction, you may have issues in the express lanes. Because at 2 and 3, everything fit okay, but at 3 and 3, it's a little too tight.
Right.
And I don't know that they're going to be able to widen from an environmental standpoint.
Section 4.
So that's going to be an interesting. If all the rest of this is to full standards, pretty much all the way down to Cape May,
Right.
that's the only part that isn't.
Okay.
Because with the widenings down there, they've addressed everything else that was substandard.
Yeah. So right now we have a
That
southbound
was
lane
120A
configuration.
that came in.
That was what?
120A, that little ramp on the right that came in.
Which state line does that 128 straddle?
It comes out of a park.
Uh-huh.
I've used that ramp just to say I used it.
Oh, really? Okay.
It is entirely
So the
unimpressive.
local lanes have 3 lanes, and the express lanes on our left have 3 lanes. Now, eventually, the
For
express
now.
lanes will ditch a lane, and we'll go down to 2.
We will let
But
you
we
know.
have 4 different roadways of 3 lanes apiece.
Right.
2 on the southbound, 2 on the northbound. So if you're keeping score at home, we're still at 6 lanes going south, but we've just split them up into 2 different roadways.
Just like Ontario.
Is there any particular reason why they decided to do express local here instead of what they did up at 130, which is like 6 lanes all on one roadway?
Since we're talking, I think this was always the vision down here.
You think so?
Yeah, I believe in this case south,
Yeah.
they always had that vision of adding express lanes later,
Yeah.
and in fact even extending them further
Yeah.
was a thought.
Yeah.
Whereas north of there, it's an
Separate
older
short.
roadway, and they didn't really have the room to do it this way, so they just
Yeah.
added lanes as they were able.
And this was such a wide median to begin with that
Yeah,
they could
it
put
was built
another
wide for that
roadway
reason.
Yeah.
in each direction in the middle.
Separate short traffic from.
So here's another one.
Yeah, well,
Aberdeen is
that's
now exit
versus
118. It
local
was
commuter.
117A. And they would have had to renumber it 117 and 117A to 117A and 117B. And because 117A is the major exit it would have been the major exit, but it was also the old name for the minor exit. They said that's way too confusing, as my explanation was. So they just made this 118 simple. 117 stays
Yeah.
117.
They
Okay.
fudged it by a mile.
No, 118 is right around 118. It's
All right,
correct.
so then it's correct.
Yeah, they only did this in cases where the mile posts would allow for it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that since we crossed the Driscoll Bridge, we have definitely entered a more bucolic setting than what we were in previously.
yes.
On the Parkway.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Off the
Parkway
Parkway, it's a
standard.
madhouse.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
not sure you can call anywhere with that much traffic bucolic.
Yeah. But I mean,
I agree with
it-
it being bucolic.
Keep
it's
saying the
is
word
far
better than
from
you. We'll get your SAT words in.
oh boy.
By Parkway standards, this is mild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
By throughway standards, it's mild.
Yes.
At least coming up here tonight, it was awful from north of Harriman.
It's always awful past Harriman.
Yeah.
So the next exit that we have is for the PNC Bank Arts Center. Now,
okay.
the original signage. Now, one of the advantages of filming this parkway about a decade ago is that you can see what has changed over the last 10 years
Right.
versus what was, originally there. The exit for the Arts Center had a number
Yeah, there's
assigned to
65
it. It
widely
was
north.
Still
exit.
does. You see it.
It's not there, I don't think.
It's still.
Exit
I
116.
want to point out the express lanes drop the third lane here onto this ramp.
All right.
Is this where the third
Yeah.
lane
Yes.
is?
Third lane
Okay.
is this
Oh,
flyover.
there's still 3 lanes there.
No, from
No,
the
it's
express.
Express.
Yeah,
The ex-
looking at the express lane, there
No,
were still
it's
3
two.
lanes.
No, there's only 2. That's
It's 2. This is going to
There
add.
were 3 cars side by side.
No, 2 lanes.
It's New Jersey, man. You never know.
right. I'm telling you, it's only striped for 2.
So right after this, it's going
certain
to
of
be
it.
it's going to be 2 and 4 for a mile, and then the 4th drops into the PNC.
Yeah, see, there's
but
only
you will
2 over
see
there.
a sign coming up that still has the exit number on it.
Because the
Unless
sign,
they
the
moved it
original,
between the last time I went down
the
there.
original signage for this was blue. It was not brown,
Correct.
and it was exit 116, and that is no
Also
longer
correct.
a numbered exit.
Check the next sign on the right.
2 right lanes. What's this?
It ain't there, bro.
Did they remove that sign on the right?
It's not a signed exit anymore.
There was a sign on the right. That sign appears
What,
to be
at the
gone.
door?
Okay. And it had just the number 116, not exit 116.
Just
Oh, there it is.
116. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
I got 116 PNC Bank card.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Ontario?
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, what?
So now, why the
That's a-
decision to not give it an exit number?
So it is
Yeah.
exit 116. They just don't
But
sign.
that 116 there, what the hell does that mean?
Well, why not sign
Yeah.
it?
Why
It's
not put
Ontario.
a,
That's the way Parkway used to do it. They just had the number up there. No,
Correct.
Everywhere.
Just like Ontario.
Yeah,
so
the
this
exit
is
part.
the only remnant of it.
Yeah,
And there definitely were other signs like
understood.
that survived into the 21st century.
Oh,
Yes.
oh yeah. But,
North
Yeah.
to the north.
I remember signs like that just had 165 in a center tab.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, there was no reason to be redundant with the word exit. It was understood that it was an exit.
Yeah, well, I want there to be the word exit, so F you.
Yeah, but it's
I want there to be an
exit
exit symbol.
I didn't say that I agreed with it. I'm just explaining it.
Guys, you can fight after my lady
That's right. We still have another half an hour to go here.
of serious conversation.
That's right.
Actually, this part's kind of
Uh,
boring.
You mean of your commentary?
This part's boring, then.
yeah, it's a pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
All right, let's all go take a leak together.
Okay, I'm locking the door.
Okay, guys, let's cross streams.
Oh, God.
Sword fight.
I'm going to say no sword crossing.
So we have, I asked the question before of where people were joining us from, and we have people from California, Texas, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. You'll never guess who's watching us from Montreal, okay?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Florida. Mineola, New York. Again, you'll never guess who that is.
no.
Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Detroit.
I already
Okay.
tell you
So-
Bel Air is in there somewhere.
There is a Bel Air, Maryland. Yes.
Yes.
That is
Yep.
true.
Where?
But I'm a little surprised that I don't hear more foreign cities because a lot of you guys don't speak English very well.
Well, that's just mean,
That's
bro.
mean.
Why you gotta go there, man?
Because this is a boring segment.
I'm trying to attract viewers to this show tonight.
Yeah, Dan, you're not attractive. Basic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We've
I
got
see.
Belaires, but is there
You
anyone
don't
from
have
West
women
Philadelphia?
Born and
So,
raised.
New York City. Okay. We have
New York City.
Yeah.
Notice the unique mileposts of the Parkway. You see these tiny little sticks that represent the 10th miles.
Yeah.
That was when I was outvoted to be MBTCD compliant shortly before the entire rest of the state went MBTCD compliant, making this look stupid. No, I'm not bitter about that, but I was right.
Well, there you go.
You'd be able to read these if they listen to me.
You bitter? No.
No, you're not bitter.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
also just bored and drinking.
you're bored of this right now?
This stretch of the Parkway is pretty boring.
It's a pretty lame stretch of the park, right?
There's nothing going on here that we haven't seen.
Yeah, we are in a bit of a lull right now. I will say
It
that.
gets more interesting after the roadways merge.
Yeah, after the
How was your
merge.
roadway whiz, Connor?
This is completely unrelated to this, but why is there a windshield wiper hanging on the wall in your bathroom?
That is a possession that I put in there because it belonged to my old
To
my
clean the mirror when it fogs up after a shower.
I mean, I was thinking that,
Yeah.
but
You know that actually went on the original Wizmobile from 2010 to 13, my first car that I owned. It belonged to
The
that.
Daihatsu?
yeah. I did not own a Daihatsu. No.
I could have sworn it was Daihatsu.
It was a Subaru.
Close.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
That's like
Same language.
Same country of origin.
3 classes down from Subaru.
The top level Daihatsu and the bottom level Subaru are comparable.
Why are you assuming that mine is a bottom level car?
This was your first Wizmobile.
And
Usually your first vehicle
Why are we
is...
buffering? He says. Oh yeah, we have started buffering. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Uh oh.
Who's buffering?
Uh oh.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Check the cables.
Hold on.
I have a live stream.
It's capacity issue.
Yeah.
My live stream is just fine right
Yeah.
now.
My live stream is
I forgot I'd opened it a while ago.
Yeah, but it's. I was sitting here stopped.
What happened?
I don't know. It's just.
I don't have
I
any
don't-
issues.
Okay, so it's.
Like, are you playing it on your?
Yeah. Something's going on with this guy's taillights here.
Yeah, what's
Refresh rate.
Yep.
An electrical issue with an Audi? I can't believe it.
Oh, no.
No, I'm guessing it wouldn't actually
Plain
look
mind
like
for
that
me.
in purpose,
Yep.
and it's just in person. It's just a refresh rate issue.
Yeah.
Because those are LEDs, so they naturally flicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those wheels are going backwards. Man, that car's got issues.
All right.
I'm fine, okay.
Well, that's a frame rate thing, not a refresh rate thing, but
Well, technically, refresh rate is also a frame rate thing.
true.
Yeah.
True.
So, we're coming up on.
Yeah, 105 can't get here fast enough.
What?
There was button copy at this exit, possibly all gone now, but may still be there, at least northbound.
I'm.
It is not
going
there
to
northbound.
assume
And
it's
all gone, yeah.
All
Not
gone.
at all.
'Cause even when they started replacing the signs, that it was still there for a little while.
Was, yes, but
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
longer.
Turnpike Authority has gone crazy replacing button copy recently.
Yep.
Ooh.
Is there any other really ancient stuff left
They
north
got
of,
this whole MUTC
north of exit
compliance
14? Is there still some left there?
kit. At least one that I know of.
Because there used to be a
Gotta
lot
give that a thumbs
north
down.
of exit 14.
No, I think they thought they got it all. They missed one.
Oh.
28, the 280 exit still has one
Oh, okay.
past the toll plaza. I told
Yes.
someone at the Turnpike Authority about this. He said, "All right, when they take it down, he'll split the shields with me." They haven't taken it down yet.
Why don't you give you the whole green
It's
panel?
a button copy 280 shield.
Ooh.
So-
Oh, that's worth that.
Yeah,
There
Yeah.
you go.
Well, why don't you take the whole green, take the entire thing home?
I don't have that kind of pickup truck.
Well, you know who does.
Rest it.
I don't. I would need some serious bungee cords for that, and
He's-
then I need an addition on my house to fit it.
Put it
Just
back.
put it on your.
These signs.
Put it on the side of your house.
Put it on your garage or
Two
something.
So
cars
far,
on this
all I'm
side.
hearing is excuses.
All right, I don't have the right size socket wrench to steal
I
it.
was gonna say, get some steel and mount it over your driveway.
Were you gonna say get?
Get.
Yeah.
This just means I need more beer. That's all it means.
There we go.
Hey.
I actually have
The
thought
more you
about
drink,
having
the
a
more you
guide
sound
sign
like Josh.
made to put over my driveway at my new house.
Sorry.
Ah, you're right. You're right. I need to do that.
Now, what would yours say? Caution, steep hill.
Well, I actually do want to measure it and get a slope sign.
12%.
Oh, it's a little more than that.
Whoa.
How steep is your driveway?
I think I'm the only one in this room that has no signs.
It climbs.
No, you're not.
Well,
I
I
it
do not-
climbs about 50 feet in about 200 to
I do not
200.
collect
Wow,
signs,
okay.
but I do own a stop
I do
sign
not
on
own
the
a
US
sign.
side.
right now.
Standing on my front
Nothing
porch,
special
looking
about
out
them.
at the street,
I
you're above
do
the
have
power
a
lines.
stop / slow
okay.
paddle. That
Yeah, I could have
picked
a
up at
freeway ends
yard
100
sale when I was a
feet.
kid for like $5.
I do not own any signs.
But it would have to be
Honestly,
button copy. I'd have to
unfortunately.
make this myself.
I sketched up something in guide sign for it that was literally just like directions to New Hampshire 111 and 3A.
Oh, yeah, because you need one heading
And I
in
really
and one
was. I
heading
remember
out.
begging my mother to
It's
buy
like,
it for me.
by the way, it's like-
I was like, I don't know, 6, 7 years
Yeah,
old.
I could have 287 to east 80 left, and then to west 80
Maybe
right.
she didn't even pay $5
Or
for it. I really don't remember. That would have been
246
the mid
west
80s.
80 right.
This is one of those sections where the subject
Wonder
of
if we
conversation
could
is
say-
not the road that we're on right now, where we are.
Well, it's also a pretty.
Just stay tuned, everyone. It'll get more interesting eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a church van.
X80, everyone. Oh, yeah, it's your
Well,
So you know that person drives like a jackass.
I know, it's amazing they're in the right lane.
The worst ones actually down in DC.
What
are
lane would
the ones
Jesus
that don't
drive in?
don't say-
What
don't
would
say-
Jesus
that's not
do?
good.
They say Iglesia
Actually, I guess-
or whatever the van, whatever the word for
27
van in
feet
Spanish is. They are awful drivers,
All right, yeah.
especially
let's
when
work
it says
on that.
Iglesia.
Well,
Iglesia to
as-
Pentecostal.
This is a minor street.
Oh, man.
Oh, they have those on
I just-
Interstate
I
80
use
going
it as
from
a
the
template to
Poconos to
base
New York
that.
City. And
Yeah.
also horrible
Use
drivers.
10-inch caps. That'll help you.
Also
The main
made
thing is that I
transport
was
of drugs
struggling to
too.
get guys
Probably-
to properly
probably
get
so.
shields.
Oh,
still
they
That should
do.
be
They
about
appropriate
15
reek
when
like
they were-
weed.
when they
Oh,
were
okay.
tiny.
I know from one of my
24
previous
inches
gas
is small
pumping
scale.
jobs, they open up the doors and it was
What?
just like,
24
whoa,
inches.
Oh, yeah,
you
okay.
think you're in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Stay off the weed.
It's a full-size sign.
So here's the point where the local and express lanes merge.
Okay, cool.
At
And
this
where you
point.
can exit if you want to go to another planet.
Neptune. Woo!
And Asbury Park.
This is the northbound Asbury Park toll you can see on the left.
Bruce Springsteen.
I did not come across Bruce on this film session.
I mean,
He's on Highway 9.
Yes.
Well, I know. I mean, he had the. What was it? I
did.
remember.
I did encounter Bon Jovi on the Parkway once.
Oh.
True story. A little further south from here, but yes.
And yes, we have now entered the part of the parkway where trucks are allowed.
Right.
And the rationale for that is they were originally allowed up till 98. Ooh, switch.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. They were originally allowed up to exit 98, and that was based on roughly where the Alfred Driscoll Expressway would have come in from the turnpike.
Okay.
Roughly paralleling where Route 18 now is, but a little more diagonal. And so at 98, you'll see you can connect to I-195, and so the idea was you take 195 to connect to the turnpike.
Right.
When they realized they were never building the Driscoll Expressway, they gave them up to Route 18 to get out as a little easier connection up from there.
Okay.
Because wasn't the Driscoll supposed to tie in around Tom's River, somewhere down by there?
Yeah, I think originally it may have been even further, but they extended it up to
it's supposed
98
to be.
just to give them a connection across.
Okay.
At least temporarily. Had they then built the Driscoll, they might have revised it back down again.
Yeah.
Was it Driscoll were there any travel demand forecast on? Would that have generated enough traffic to pay for itself?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was just environmental.
Was
Otherwise,
the
Environmental or
now? I think I read somewhere that the Driscoll was going to inherit the ticket system of the turnpike. Is that
maybe.
correct?
Thing.
Oh.
That
Yeah, because I
sounds
think it
valid.
was supposed to be a
It
turnpike
would have been
authority
part of
roadway.
Yeah,
the
it was
it would have been.
to be a turnpike.
No, I don't know how they
section,
would
I
have
think.
done the exit numbers for that,
Yeah.
but
I don't know. But
8A, 8B, 8C,
no,
8D.
Driscoll, so D1, D1, D2, D3 probably.
Oh, that's right.
Or
It was
maybe
D.
8.
Or no, or 1 D2, D3 because they do the W and E on the westerly easterly.
I think.
And then they did P.
I think there was a D involved. I think you're right, but I don't remember if it was a prefix or a suffix.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
One way or another,
some
that
is
highway
based on
wanted the
turnpike
D.
practice, but
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Was
this.
it sounds like it was not really environmental, but NIMBY is claiming
It was.
It's some of both.
I don't think there were a lot of. I don't think there were enough
Heavily.
people there
No,
to
they're not.
be NIMBYs versus the
But-
Somerset
Okay.
Express. Somerset.
Yeah,
Expressway
however,
Freeway.
it is right through the Pine Barrens, which has a crap ton of environmental.
Yeah.
Turnpike Authority.
No, that's true.
The Turnpike Authority didn't have it as a high enough priority to build until environmental regulations came around. That effectively killed any momentum.
Yeah.
They were considering it at that point. It was too late.
Yeah, I mean, would the Atlantic City Expressway have been built, given the environmental protections now of the Pine Barrens? Probably not.
Well, there's probably a lot of roads that would
Yeah,
not be
anything
built
through the
with
Pine Barrens
today's
would not exist.
Yeah.
during
Oh,
urban
yeah.
sections.
standards, you know?
Oh yeah.
Given what we
Yeah.
have to go through just to try to put sidewalks in, no,
Wow.
nothing, absolutely
Resist the
nothing
Pine
would get
Barrens.
built through the Pine
And-
I'm
Barrens.
sorry,
And-
sidewalks in the Pine Barrens?
In areas that are within the control of the Pine Barrens Commission,
Oh.
some of which are developed.
Well, I mean, and of course, the added bonus with that is that might have been the single best episode of The Sopranos was called the Pine Barrens, because
It's a good place to bury people.
well, they were intending to bury people.
Something like
They were
that.
intending to bury somebody, but according to the storyline, the person they were intended to bury didn't die, and in fact, he got out of the trunk very much alive and was very angry at Tony's associate, who then got horrendously lost in the Pine Barrens.
Yep, that can happen.
Angry.
Great.
That's
So,
Here's our next interstate highway.
our next and
Yeah.
last interstate
Yeah.
highway for today is 195, which will take you east-west across Central Jersey. Yes,
Yeah.
Central Jersey is a thing.
But no, it's not. But Dan,
It
why
is-
could they not extend I-76
Of course, we have
down
to wait
the
until
Atlantic
we're in
City
Central
Expressway?
Jersey.
That's right,
Fight over what
yay!
Central Jersey
Hey!
exists. Central Jersey.
Does not
Doesn't
exist.
exist.
Do we want to tackle that question at exit 38? or-
No, I don't want to tackle it
Now,
at
why?
all.
why
No, the correct place to tackle that exit, to tackle that question,
This
is
is
south
gonna
of
be
the
a bad
end of this
joke.
road.
Why was there a toll plaza ahead of 195 there on the side? Is there another a mainline barrier
Because
coming
you
up?
have
Tom's
not-
River.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay, all right.
Yeah, they're starting to control that this far up, so that every southbound exit would have a toll
Okay.
until you get down to Tom's River,
Okay, all right.
and you'll see the rest of them do.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Just
so
like-
100 was the last free exit you could have taken.
Yeah, just like all the entrances are untold.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you'll either go through the mainline barrier or you'll pay a toll to exit.
Yeah.
And that's always been the Parkway system. It's one between any two given toll plazas. Back when they were two-way,
Right.
they would toll either the exits or the entrances, not both.
Right. I'd rather that.
And which means when they went to one-way tolling, that's why you get those instances of go a little further and it's free.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, there were a few odd instances of free rides even before they started going one way on tolls.
Not
But-
nearly as many.
Yeah,
Only a few.
Only a few, like 102 to 100. Woo.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the ride from I-80 westbound to the first exit to 46 was always free.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's right.
From-
Yeah.
Wait, from I-80 westbound would have had to be tolled in the. That was always tolled. Any of the I-80 ramps went through a toll at the Parkway originally.
Because
There's
that
a-
ramp does not go through a toll now.
No,
There's
but
a-
it did
now
originally.
it did.
Like,
where
there's
did
a-
it go through a toll?
If it didn't go through the Bergen Plaza, it would have had its own toll.
Because it
Here's
didn't
the
go
stop.
right. Well, right, because the plaza is north of the interchange.
Yeah,
so it didn't
but
go
Yeah.
there was an Interchange Plaza which may have been dismantled.
So they removed the ramp toll.
Yes, they've done that in a few instances.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything
Yeah,
at 80 I
there
can
they have-
vouch was tolled.
Yeah, they have it 280 on a couple ramps too.
Yeah, there's definitely a movement in the 157 to 159 range that's still free.
Well, no,
But I don't-
now a lot more is free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
As I said, you can get on at 143 and off at 157 and not pay any tolls.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're
But you used to
that
not
used to have
have.
a ramp plaza.
There was no way
Inspection
on
area is closed.
before 157, and that's why 157 never had any ramp tolls.
Yeah, this next sequence of interchanges has changed drastically in the last few years.
Yes.
So,
I also helped design them.
did you?
Did you design the inspection area
88,
too?
88, 89.
Who designs an inspection area that's closed?
Not us.
You
Is that an
jackass.
inspection area, as in like station?
Yeah, it looks
Yes.
like it. I don't know. Is it really worth their while to wait, or is it more for safety, mechanical inspection maybe? Brake
Well,
and tires?
considering that they just allowed trucks on the Parkway 5 or 6 miles before this,
Yeah.
I mean 10 miles before
There
this.
isn't that much truck traffic on
Yeah,
this road anyway.
yeah, it's 1%
No.
trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I can see maybe
So-
buses going to Atlantic City. They want to inspect that.
I doubt it. It's probably.
No, it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
for
they don't
buses.
have-
I don't know why
Yeah,
that would
buses
ever
don't
be
have
open,
to
but it's
stop.
there.
Well, okay, all right. Trucks are not allowed north of 105. Our buses.
Yes,
Yes.
the whole length.
Yeah.
Buses are allowed the whole
Yes,
length.
they
All
are.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
In
Yeah.
fact, it's amazing you didn't see
But
more of those.
the
AC
Parkway is
buses.
pretty much built for trucks up
Mm.
at least through 129.
You usually start seeing a lot of them once
But
you get south of the
They're not going to allow
turnpike.
it.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
There's enough car traffic.
because I'm assuming you filmed this on a Saturday or Sunday.
We're now in the third of 3 different film sessions now, which will take us all the way down to Cape May. This was, I believe, on a Saturday morning.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes. It's
Oh
Sunday now.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
All the other film sessions also were on weekends, but
So, yeah,
this was.
they've rebuilt 91 to add southbound entrances. I want to say,
Yes, correct.
This used to
Open
just
road
be-
tolling.
or sorry, southbound entrance, northbound exit used to just be.
hmm And then 89 coming up has been completely
Yep.
redone.
CD roads.
Yeah, the CD roads are very impressive. At that.
Thank you.
That was you too.
No.
All right.
I did the traffic analysis for the number of toll plazas they need.
I don't know.
That was
Number of
my major
lanes you need.
contribution. Number of booths in the toll plaza.
Yeah, number of
Yeah.
lanes. Yeah,
They looked at 5. They looked at 6.
because this used to be exit 89, and now
Why
it's
didn't
exit
you decide on
89
zero,
ABC.
It was 88. And 88 was
CBA.
70, and 89 was 530, whatever it is. What was the question?
I said, why didn't you decide on 0 then?
Because then you'd have 0 capacity.
No, I mean just no tolls.
Yeah, then they wouldn't have an exit. Gotta be told.
No, it doesn't have to be.
That's not my call.
It's not his kind of.
They want their money, okay? The construction doesn't pay for itself.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does not.
This Governor Chris Christie Parkway doesn't pay for itself, capiche?
Yeah.
It is time for some traffic problems in Brick because we have our next exit coming up here.
I'm excited for these traffic problems.
Yeah, right. All 7 cars that are on the
That's-
parkway on a
that-
Saturday
that-
morning
that-
after Labor Day.
that time for
Well,
traffic.
clearly this is in the off season.
Time for traffic problems in where was it in
Fort Lee.
Fort Lee. That's gonna have to join infamous political talks, political words right up there with that bitch set me up.
Hey, we're not to exit 80 yet.
Drink.
Language.
Yeah.
Now, the control city for the Parkway is Tom's River
Yeah.
for the time being.
Yeah.
And that will change again a couple more times.
What did Tom do that he deserves a river?
I don't know.
Well, Ben Dover was just didn't deserve to be there anymore.
Right. Yes, for a long time it was Dover Township.
Notice the service road on the right here.
So you can see
Starting
they
to
only
differ.
had 4 toll plazas there in the end.
Right.
We were looking at as many as 6.
Wow.
Then they got us down to 5, and then they said, "Can we get by with 4?" And we said, "Not unless you make the Easy Pass medium speed. You could get an additional few hundred vehicles an hour through there, and that was enough to tip the
How
balance."
are you running? Or what simulation program are you running to analyze that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nope. We got various capacities from the Parkway. They have throughputs
Okay.
for all their various types of booths, and so we use that to
You
figure
gotta
out
use
which one to do.
microsim or anything.
Pure empirical data. Very good.
Wow.
Okay, hey.
Empirical's the best place to start.
No, empirical's good. I have no.
Even better in this case because it involves New Jersey driving.
Yeah, it's their own roadway.
You
It's
can't
most
just use the
accurate.
same formulas from everywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What?
Well, what's interesting, you mentioned that on the Garden State Parkway, in the Bergen area, you got an excess of 2,400 vehicles per hour in a lane, which is the theoretical maximum any one lane can have. We saw 2,700.
We have no trucks there. Isn't that part of the reason?
Yeah, no trucks.
Yeah.
No, but this is
It's-
vehicle
it's also-
equivalence, passenger car equivalence. So
Wow.
it would account for trucks in the formula.
It's also Jersey spacing.
Yes,
too.
Jersey spacing. So you've got headways less than 1.5 seconds between vehicles.
I
That's
mean,
why.
There you go. Yeah.
That's,
And as long as they keep moving,
I mean-
they're pumping through there.
I mean, you have that here too. So I mean,
Yeah, but that's one of
Yeah,
I think
it's-
3 or 4 places in the country where I've seen data showing more than 2,400 in a
I
lane.
think.
I'm assuming they're somewhere in Metro New York, probably.
No, it's
Boston.
widespread and far flung. Like
California.
I think one of
Los Angeles,
them
maybe?
was in Kentucky. It's just
Really?
random other places.
I would just like to take a second to note that we have now reached the midway point of the Garden State
Wow,
Parkway.
Cool.
Where's the
So,
sign?
if there, unfortunately, there isn't one, but
There should be.
if there
Mile
was
80
one, it would
mile
go roughly right about here.
86.2.
Yeah. So we are halfway home, boys.
Here is our
get on
two-way.
that, Steve. Put
Here's
up
our
a sign.
two-way toll plaza.
Wow.
So if you are just joining us, or if you've been with us from the start, note that we are about halfway through this video. So, all right, and we're coming up on our next toll plaza, which now we should probably touch on what we I think have teased a few times, which is the idea of Tom's River being the only toll plaza on the mainline parkway that is
So the Parkway
a
has
two-way toll.
Parkway has 11 toll plazas, and when they wanted to go to one-way tolling, they wanted it to be equal in both directions. One thing they thought of is, can we get rid of one of the toll plazas? And they looked at that, and they said, no, we like money. So then the next question
I mean,
was...
they could have raised the tolls at the other
So then the
ones to
next
make up for
question
it.
was, which one do we keep as two-way? Pascack Valley, or Hilldale, which is now Pascack Valley, was a contender because that had already been converted to a two-way express easy pass.
Oh, okay.
But because Union and Essex were paired up, and those had to be one way, if you go north, you only have Bergen and Pascack Valley. So they said, okay, those two have to be paired.
Yeah.
So then they went south, or Raritan and Asbury, both very similar, serving the same local express. So those two were paired.
Union and Essex are paired.
Right. So then you had Tom's River, basically Tom's River and everything south. They were a little more open to debates on those.
Okay.
And I think part of the reason that this one is two-way is normally this would have been a southbound one if you kept the progression going.
Right. Yeah. We're due
Tom-
for a southbound.
Tom's
only.
River is about the southernmost point on the Parkway system that people are commuting to New York.
I believe that.
And so I think they wanted to capture that revenue and not have people try to dodge the toll in one direction because they're so close to home and they know the back
I
roads
see.
or whatever. They wanted to capture everyone here.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a guess. There's no... if you look at the rest of the toll plaza, they could have easily picked any of them.
I think what you're hitting on something there with the idea of how people trying to shun pike a plaza that's one way is going to mess with the local traffic system as well.
The other thing,
Right.
the other way you could look at it is, assuming that they decided Raritan and Asbury had to be paired as a one-way as well, this is the next one, which means it has the highest traffic
US 9 is coming out
remaining.
here.
Yes, now US 9 has joined the Parkway, and this is
the free section. Yeah.
and now we
This
have
is the other
entered
free section. Okay.
we have entered the second free section that I referenced before.
And you will
yeah.
see more substandard shoulders and multiple lanes crammed in as a result.
And you're going to see old overpasses again,
Yep.
which you did not see in the previous 50 miles.
Which they're going to replace very soon.
Oh.
You think they're going to do that?
They're going to replace
Shortly?
very soon.
Like the 37
There's
interchange?
two cop
and all
cars that had to pull someone over on the left there.
The 527.
What'd they do?
It's exit 81 where you'll see this stuff. They're going to put through widened shoulders, full auxiliary lanes, completely new bridges there.
Okay.
That's all getting fixed up.
It was probably
Gotcha.
minority. I mean, not that
This
there's a
this
safety
exit was
profile,
renumbered
but-
from 82 and 82A to 82A and 82B.
I thought there was something different about the number.
Oh no, it's still 82 and 82A.
Oh, it is.
They haven't fixed that yet.
No, not yet.
Wow.
Well, that's going to have to change.
Yeah.
It will.
That's supposed to be A and B.
Okay.
They didn't even leave room on the exit tabs for that. That's surprising. Now,
Those are still old signs, though.
Now, Lakehurst Road is a 500 series route, so that should have a shield instead of a. So that's also an older sign.
That's an old sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it interesting that these are still old signs.
Lakehurst
through
RD
here.
period.
Interesting.
That last sign had.
Really?
And look,
Yeah,
black
well,
background on the
that's
non. That's the old bridge they'll be replacing,
Yeah.
and they're going to fix the 15-mile-an-hour exit ramp. Here's your fourth lane with no shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, this is a byproduct of the free section.
Yep.
Here's where 9 breaks back off.
Yeah, 9 will exit at the end of the free section.
And then the parkway
Right.
will look good again.
Yep. So we've made it to. What is the status on the Great Egg Harbor Bridge replacement? We're going to get to that in
Yep.
about 50 miles.
Give us about a half hour to get there. And
Hey, a little more than that. Come on, I didn't drive that fast.
I've driven with you, man.
Actually, it wouldn't be hard for you to figure out the average speed of
That
this
exit
journey.
there is so Tom's River.
That should not have a 600 shield in there. So they did that
Yeah.
one.
Atlantic.
So Long Beach Island and Atlantic City take over as the next points of interest along the way.
And now we get into trash talking. because
So we're
there's nothing to
south.
do for a
Okay,
while.
so we're south of exit 80 now.
So welcome to Snooky Land.
But
You're
recently,
past, you're past Snooky Land, I think. Isn't
they've
that
recently
Seaside?
widened from here.
It's
all the
actually
way
at
down
exit
to
82. Yeah,
Seaside, yeah.
yeah.
They've widened from here all the way down to exit 36 recently, from 2 lanes to 3, which means everything you'll see is new, modern, and boring.
And is completely different from the original videos that I filmed in 2010, which was a 2-lane,
Yep,
highway all
trees
the way
close
down.
to the road instead of 30.
The
But
original-
this still looks
Right,
like a parkway, though, in spite of that.
So I'm going to use this opportunity
'Cause
to
they had
make
very
fun of
wide
our
medians.
viewers. Let's see what I can make fun of.
So this would be a good
Everyone's
opportunity
still new.
because for the next, let's call it 30 miles or so, we're not going to encounter that much along the way. So for those of us, we have over 30 people
I would like to
watching,
address
so-
Matthew Wong, who says, unless the NJT is secretly and likely illegally collecting tax money. I think the word likely there opens you up to declaring our rule number 4, which is no libeling any state agencies. If you have proof, please present it. Otherwise, please shut your fingers.
Also, who says it's illegal?
But yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
likely.
Well, there's only really one ground rule of this presentation, and that is to not make a dick out of yourself.
Can't
so,
use the B word.
Well,
No one is to say
he's
the
already
B word.
violated that rule.
But so this service area up ahead here.
Is it
Has been-
renovation or what?
Yes, this is a renovation project that started in September, and they will reopen
Right.
in April or May in
Right.
time for next season.
Right, makes sense.
Time
Yeah.
for some traffic problems in Forked River.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fork Ed.
Forked River.
Fork it.
Forked
The old
River.
Forked River.
That's
Yes.
right. So anyway, as I was starting
Fun
to
fact, Dan is
say,
going over the speed limit right now.
we have over 30 people watching. If you guys have any questions for us, the panel of members here who
I have questions for
gathered
the
here.
viewers.
Um,
What kind of lives
would
do you
you-
have that
would-
you're in here on a Saturday
would
night?
you
Wow!
would you shut up? I'm trying to talk to my audience here for a second.
Yeah.
We're here on a Saturday night. What
Yeah,
kind of life
no,
do you
we're
have?
here on a Saturday night.
We're here.
They are watching us.
They're watching.
That
us
is
make
that
after
is the
ourselves.
problem. And if they're out at a bar with friends watching us, I also question their sanity.
I would say that's a very fun thing to do.
If they want to put it on,
I
bar
want this
TV,
on the bar TV at
Yeah.
every bar in the tri-state
If
area.
they could cast
Guys,
this on
make
a
it
bar
happen.
That's what I want to hear from our viewers. If you've got this up on a bar TV, I will come to your bar myself and offer commentary on Dan's next video. Show me the proof. I will be there.
Now, I think the exit 77 and 74, and I
Are
think
new.
a few more down the line,
Yep.
also
And
inter-
67.
Well,
There used to be
what-
nothing between 80 and 64.
You're not letting me finish.
I don't
Would you
want to.
Would you shut up for a second?
Sure.
So 77 and 74 intersect with county routes, but the county routes aren't signed as part of these exits.
Damn, Skippy.
See, that's not what you thought I was
Right.
going to
I
say.
don't care what you're going to say. I like mine better.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure
Feel
you
the
do.
love tonight.
Yeah.
Forked River.
Have you ever
Giant blank
watched
space.
one of these, Connor?
This isn't the first one I've been here for.
Yeah,
The
but he
first
was
one.
at.
He was here for the Hawaii one.
Yeah, he was.
Remember that?
Ah.
He was in Hawaii.
But I wasn't.
See, I actually show up to things.
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were, Steve.
Yes, you
Was
were,
I?
Steve.
Yes, you were.
Was I drinking?
Yes, you were.
Okay,
do it.
so I have questions from my
You were
viewers
equally
for the
obnoxious
panel.
on that one,
So
Alright.
I'm gonna.
Okay, let's look. Okay,
All right,
Question from the audience.
you guys. Thomas asked, do you guys remember the tokens for the Parkway?
I do.
I'm trying to drink it away right now.
Yes, but I never. I remember being signed at the toll barriers, but I didn't.
Token only.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
two green flashing lights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I never drove the Parkway enough to bother getting tokens.
I have a token.
I
have an entire, half a coin roll of them, actually.
I think a
I
lot
would-
of us road enthusiasts
I
have a
would-
collection of tokens of some extent,
I
myself
don't-
included.
I use tokens,
I
however, they weren't
a token off
Parkway
of you next time I
tokens.
see you.
How did you
I
get
don't think I
around the
ever drove
system?
them
Like
like
subway
that.
tokens?
No, I used those tokens like that you get at the arcades at the shore.
Yep.
At this rate,
Speaking of
it's
subway
longer.
tokens,
No, not Subway.
no. Speaking of subway tokens, the
Do we want to touch on?
Connecticut Turnpike tokens used to be
Yes. that's
Yeah,
right.
you used
useful in the subway.
to. Yeah.
With
That
the
is true.
concept of tokens comes the natural concept of slugging tokens.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Do we want to touch on the situation of cashless tolling in Pennsylvania and New York?
I have some.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's
Pennsylvania
happening
definitely
for
happening.
sure.
It's
New York,
happening.
it's mostly already New York City, it's already happened.
Yeah.
Thruway in
Pennsylvania's
New
very
York
close.
is under progress. Is under construction right now. There are at least two overhead entries currently up in Syracuse and east of east of Buffalo.
Yeah, they've
Are they
started the
on-
Williamsville one.
Yeah,
Are they on the main line or ramps?
Main line.
Main line.
So the thruway's actually doing it as a mix.
Yeah, because they're going to have some free areas.
I knew how they were doing it.
Yeah.
I was just wondering where the ones that are already going up are.
Yeah, though. Actually, there are some up at exits too. However, they are inside the current toll booths.
And I cannot vouch for what's going on in Massachusetts.
And that's the reason they're using some of the ramp tolls,
Yeah.
because they're just using.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
I can vouch for what's going
Way
on
of
in
shaving some money off.
Connecticut because I've now seen those. Or Rhode Island. Rhode Island.
Yeah,
Rhode Island now
Island,
has
yeah.
has
Truck only.
open road truck
Yeah.
tolls.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all
Yeah, sorry about that.
inline tolls.
That was us.
Oh, fuck you then.
I say Connecticut.
That wasn't you. That was Rhode Island's government contracting with someone.
Right.
Who was us?
Yeah, but that was their decision.
So
Well, actually, it was kind of our
Where
idea.
town? Where?
The truck tolls were our idea.
oh really?
Yeah.
What was the idea to divert them up 395 and up into Massachusetts? Was that the motivation for them, or?
I'm sure it didn't hurt.
Yeah, I think they're trying to pay for maintaining their own roads
They
Well,
actually
because they have too much pass-through traffic.
from
Yeah.
the initial
It's like
tolling
Delaware.
locations. The
Well,
first
that's
one
because
was on
nobody's
95
tested
towards
for
the
Rhode
Connecticut
Island.
line.
Right.
Data has
I
actually
was.
shown that truck volumes have not significantly.
You are in the minority.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, no, I saw trucks, and as we got to exit 3, which I think was the last northbound exit, even signed as last exit before toll, they kept running and going.
Yeah.
Even though you could easily shunpike there, they kept going.
Yep. But no.
Well,
volume
because
data shows
the
that they
truck
are
driver isn't the one paying the toll,
Yeah,
probably,
truck driver.
in a lot of cases.
In most cases,
Right, unless they're an independent.
yeah, but
They're
Yeah.
Yeah.
over there it's mostly long distance trucking. So it's
right, and the company and ultimately the customer is paying the toll anyway, so they don't care.
Speaking of tolls, here comes another one.
Ooh, Barney.
Barnegat, which is now we revert to the one way. So this
Right.
is a southbound only. And not all of the toll plazas from here on south are express.
Notice the
As
county
far as their
name was
easy
in
pass
the,
lanes.
was in the overhead sign.
The what?
The
The county name was in the overhead sign.
in
Was
the
it?
Pentagon.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because Barnegat has express lanes, and then New Gretna and Great Egg Harbor do not have express lanes.
No.
And
No,
then
what
Correct.
about Cape May?
Cape
The
May
other
does
thing
have
that they
Cape May
did
does.
do here with the switching of tolling to one way is right. So right now the one way tolls are $1.50 each, but Tom's River is still 75 cents because it's two way.
That's
Correct.
correct.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like the MTA. It's equivalent tolls for two-way,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
which means if they go open road on the Verrazano,
like they already have.
yeah, but that, well, that means if they go two-way. They're considering going two-way open road tolling down.
Federal law would need to change to allow it.
Okay.
They're looking into it.
Our friend Laura has a question that maybe we
Oh,
can
I actually like
revisit.
Laura. Okay.
Oh, so now you're going to pay attention to what I
No,
said.
no, I'm going to be nice.
Okay. So we were talking, I think we touched on this earlier, about how some of the exit numbers in like the 140 to 155 range
Or off.
do not match
Yep.
the mile markers. Can you maybe explain that again and why they don't match? And why they are what they are?
None of us know.
Oh,
Nobody.
The other interesting thing, though, that this gives me an opportunity to bring up is Parkway northbound and southbound are mile posted independently of each other,
oh,
which is fairly uncommon to begin with, and also against MUTCD practice, which requires both sides to be the same now.
right.
The Parkway, I asked the Parkway about this once, and they said, we can't ever fix this because every one of our bridges, sign structures, light posts, whatever, is inventoried based on the milepost and direction. If they changed it,
They have to change every
But
inventory
yeah,
number.
yes,
So-
every historical record they have would
Shit.
not match.
So
And
what
they
happens
said-
when there's a bridge that crosses both directions?
No, it's inventoried as both.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's inventoried as a separate.
It could be N. It'll be N and S, and so, or I mean, if you cross both at once, which can happen in the Essex area,
It's
it'll just be
inventoried
a
as-
number.
Yeah.
They'll pick a number, but yeah, no. They said we can never fix this problem, and so it's that gets off by as much as 0.2 of a mile. It's not to the degree of 2 miles that you see with the exit numbers, but no, there's never, to my knowledge, been an explanation as to why they're off.
Yeah.
And some people have said, well, they weren't sure how long the Parkway was going to be when they built the free section. They didn't come up with the exit numbers until they finished building. So it's not like
Yeah, man.
they were guessing there.
Yeah, man. Somebody else had a question. Why can't AAA help you on the Parkway or Turnpike?
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, because it's a private agency. I mean, it's a public agency, but they maintain the roads. They decide
They
who
operate
they
the
let
roads.
onto it.
Yeah,
That's
man.
correct.
Thruway Authority in New York State has a similar thing. You have to be a registered
Yep.
Road service by permit only.
road service
Yep.
permit
So,
only. That's
so
what
the
sign says.
Turnpike divides it up, and they
Yep.
give out each section. They'll bid it, and someone wins that section.
Pennsylvania.
Who is
does
horribly
this.
corrupt, and that I've learned to never break down on the Parkway or Turnpike
Nice.
if you can at all help it. If you have AAA, if you get towed somewhere, just have AAA tow you from there. Never accept service where they tow you.
Oh, wow.
This is a public service announcement.
Okay.
But
So-
they are now required. It used to be that the service providers, at least on Turnpike, were not required to accept a AAA card. Now they must accept AAA. And I actually heard that from a prominent authority that some of you are familiar with.
Yeah. Oh, they
Named Robert Sargent.
they can tow
Uh-huh.
you. They will tow you for free, yes, but then if you have service done with them,
If
it's
you get
Right,
service
right,
done,
no, I
it's
understand.
a shame.
yeah. Now on the Parkway, they can still stop and help you with basic things.
Okay.
They're allowed to fix
Help you
your tire,
with
for example.
yeah, right.
Or give you gas. On the turnpike, it's an automatic tow no matter what,
Right.
because
Oh,
of the nature
really?
of the roadway. They want you out of there as quickly as
Yes,
possible
I understand that.
with the trucks. Here, it's a little more casual. It's always been. It's sort of that when the turnpike authority absorbed the highway authority, for a while the Parkway and Turnpike lived independently in that merged agency, and so some of that persists to this day. And that's
Yeah,
one
it's
of the
still somewhat separate.
yeah, it's one of the cases of the two highways are run a little differently. Now, it's really merged much more nowadays, and you're
But that's
seeing
very.
you're seeing this
recent,
with
though.
the full shoulders and all
Yeah.
that.
A
Well,
lot
with
of
this
that's
project,
pretty
yeah,
recent.
we now have all the full
Yeah.
shoulders and the full
The
width
way
lanes.
the way
and
they're
all
signing
that, yeah.
road exits.
Yeah,
it's-
but some
MUTCD compliant signage.
Yeah, it's
on
really
both.
Yeah.
they're coming
Yeah.
together, but that's an example. And there are still minor differences if you want to do road work on one versus the other, in terms of the level of we call it MPT, but maintenance and protection of traffic. So basically, the cones, the drums, the crash trucks, whatever. Different requirements on Turnpike versus Parkway for that stuff.
Adding on to that question, why does the Parkway have NJDOT standard lane striping and
Highway Authority.
reflector? Oh,
Yeah.
so
And-
all of that, so they ever changed over to Turnpike standards.
Well, Turnpike standards are specifically because of trucks. They say the 25-25 spacing is more visible, or 25-15. 25? Yeah, 25.
Yeah, 25-15.
It's
Yeah.
more visible to trucks.
Okay.
And that was their specific rationale that they gave me. And so, with the truck volumes on the Parkway being minimal, they don't need
Okay.
to. And so
Okay,
they're
that's-
never going to.
Okay, that's. Adding,
So, you know,
just a question.
there's not the motivation to consider that with the Parkway where there's not much
Yeah.
truck traffic anyway.
Yeah, they're never
Yeah.
they're always gonna keep it this way.
Yeah,
Now, we did
that's-
pass the exit for Long Beach Island a few miles ago, and
Go
that
on.
was a significant exit point for short traffic in the summer months.
One could argue you didn't need 3 lanes south of there, and indeed, the first
It is useful though.
the first widening section was from there north, 63 to 80.
Yes, that's
By
correct.
far the most needed. But then 63 to 48 and 48 to 35 did proceed a pace after that.
Yep.
Right.
And I think they decided they had the permits for everything. Let's go with it. They
I'm
were
very
they were
happy.
considering widening it down to exit 30, and
Yeah.
they basically asked me, should we do it? And I said, looking forward 20 to 30 years at the traffic volumes, there's no need for it.
I mean,
I didn't say no. I just
yeah,
said
but there's not really any need.
Like
past
the AC
Atlantic City.
Expressway
Yeah.
is a major
Yeah.
exchange point
Yeah.
for
That-
traffic.
yes, people
Yeah.
are getting out at 30, but interestingly, more people get on at 29 to head across Great Egg Harbor than get off at 30 to head to Ocean City. And so, yeah, the volumes down there just don't warrant it.
Yeah, that
Really?
makes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
Even here, I would argue it's really not necessary. Except
it's
that-
not
I
necessary,
mean,
but it's nice.
It
Yeah.
definitely moves a
nice.
lot nicer.
There
It's
would
nice.
there would be
Yeah.
some delays during Fridays and Saturdays heading south
Right.
in
Yeah.
the summer.
But yeah, this flows very nice.
It's not necessary, but it's very nice.
This is like extending the dual section of the turnpike all the way down to 6 instead of to say 7A.
Yeah.
You don't need 6 lanes down by exit 6 where you still have 6 lanes at all.
But it's very, very nice
Yeah,
to have.
Yeah.
it's
But
fun.
when you have a toll road, you can pay for that premium.
But
service.
basically down there, you can
Right.
close one lane in the inner and outer lanes simultaneously 24/7 if you wanted. There's no
Yeah, there's no adverse
No
effects.
reason.
Yeah.
And it's also nice too, should they have to shut down an entire roadway for whatever reason.
well. That's why they do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And on occasion, they have to, so.
Overnight, they'll do a lot of overnight. Shut down an entire barrel.
Yeah.
3 lanes go into 3 lanes.
They've definitely yeah, they do that.
It works.
Yeah.
You have an accident in one, you tell everyone to get on
You
the
have
other
an
one.
accident,
Yeah.
Everyone hop on the.
See,
But
this
how
is-
much
This
of-
is an unnecessary byproduct right here, though, is middle lane camping.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but
Hey, there's a truck.
it would have been right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
that should be in the right lane.
Have we seen any trucks yet?
I
Or
think
is
that's
it-
our first
At
Yeah,
first-
no,
truck. If you
I don't
wanna
know.
call
The
it
video
that.
keeps
No,
jumping.
18-wheeler trucks, no.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't think I encountered any 18-wheelers on this trip.
Yeah, but no
It's
truck-
rare.
The weight
You
limit
see.
north of 105 is 10,000 pounds. So,
Is there an
Oh, it actually
express
has
weight
to-
or is
limit
it
for
7,000 or
that?
10,000?
Oh, it's a weight limit.
It's a
Interesting.
weight limit. Yeah,
Interesting.
I didn't know there was a weight limit.
That is
Okay.
interesting.
that's how they keep the trucks out.
Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Because your standard.
However, there are tolls
tolls.
for them.
Yes.
There is a toll schedule for them, even though they're not allowed.
Yeah,
Oh,
but there
really?
is a
Okay.
reason for that, which is if you have a work truck, technically you have to pay the tolls. And a work truck might fit one of those classes.
Hmm.
And since they need the classes for the southern tolls anyway, they just have them for all the tolls.
I see.
Right.
So there is a Class 7 vehicle schedule for the Essex Toll Plaza.
And in theory,
Yes.
they may need to accommodate one,
Oh,
which would be you get on at the exit before, do the work, and you get off at the exit after.
I see. Very neat.
Yeah, I don't know that it's ever happened, but it's there.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's there. It's available.
That's the rule for work vehicles on Parkway and Turnpike. You have to get on at the exit immediately before the work, get off at the exit immediately after.
Yeah, I'm a.
No matter where you're going.
Uh,
Oh, no, on the Parkway. On the Turnpike, you can keep going because you're...
Right. There's no.
Yeah,
no
well,
restriction.
what that also means then is that if you are a truck and you illegally enter the parkway in that section, you will still have to pay the toll, and there will be a rate for you.
right.
Yeah.
For that reason alone, it makes sense to have
Yes,
it.
you
Right,
pay
it's-
that
it's
rate,
not on the
and
toll
then the
taker
cops
to
escort you
enforce
off,
it.
and you have to pay another rate as well.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, there's toll for the toll taker. There's a proper rate for it. It's not on them to enforce it.
But they will notice.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Now, I did see that once, a truck at a toll plaza it wasn't supposed to be at, and it was stopped there and having a pretty lengthy conversation.
Hey.
Did you call Joe DeMarco?
I didn't want to be blamed for taking his girlfriend.
driver
with
was in the toll plaza spread eagle.
So I stopped in the left lane and took a picture of this truck.
Was
So
it a
I,
PayPal truck?
so I took his hubcaps.
He stole my wife and my girlfriend.
And my girlfriend.
And he says "and" in the video.
That's
Well, I
right.
think the line is actually my money and my girlfriend, which makes a little bit more
No.
sense.
So
He said wife too,
All right, well that's yeah.
here's the northbound New Gretna Toll Plaza.
which does
on the
not
left.
have express lanes.
That is correct.
A shout out to Candace Post, our first female viewer ever.
That's not true.
I know Kim Harvey has been here.
Really?
Actually, Laura's on here, so
Well, Laura's
Our
That's
second-
it right now.
our
Well-
second one ever. Yay!
For all you know,
You do a really good Laura voice. I have to say that is
For all,
like.
for all you know, for all you know,
Fuck you.
there's another. For all you know, there's another female viewer there. You got to introduce the next generation.
Yeah, no, she is watching,
Yeah.
but she's sort of being held captive. so
No,
I guess
this toll plaza is.
Oh,
signed
okay.
as-
So what you're saying is you have a captive audience.
of one, at least one. Hey guys, if you're being out there being forced to watch this against your will, please comment. We'd like to know. Law enforcement is interested.
Law enforcement would love to hear from you, as they say on 1010 Wins.
And my cat would love some attention right now, so
Where is your cat's just chilling at home right
she
now?
might be watching this video. I don't know.
So I do want to touch on these bridges that we're going over right now.
I mean, she knows
This
my
one
laptop
here,
password,
the
so she
Bass
wants
River
to know.
Bridge, and the one coming up in a few miles were replaced as part of the widening project.
And the height is not even.
It is not, yeah.
Why is that?
I think because we flew over US 9 as part of crossing the river, and I think US 9 kind of goes up on its own bridge from south to
I wouldn't be
north.
surprised if one of these was a rebuild.
US 9 has a movable
and the other
bridge
one was a new
still.
build, and so the rebuild is probably the
higher one.
sharper profile, right? And the flatter
Yeah.
profile would be the new one. I'd have to look at historic aerials to confirm that.
Yeah,
Look, it's a jupe.
the jupe.
That's racist.
It's a juke thing.
That's racist.
Paw
It's
prints do
Jesus.
not look like letter E's. Attention to anyone who's considering buying one of those tire covers.
Yeah, but according to Clearview advocates, the letter E does look like the letter O if it's not Clearview.
Oh fuck, TechStop.
So US 9 has rejoined the Parkway at this interchange and proceeds with the Parkway as a multiplex for exactly one exit. until the next exit at Port Republic, which is on the other side of the Mullica River
This
Bridge.
was the last at grade on the Parkway north of 9 to 11.
Really?
Where 9 came in there, yep.
Right here, where we
Yeah, the
just
Parkway
passed?
came off this bridge, and 9 originally sliced straight across it.
There was like a turn lane or something?
Yeah, it was a signal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did that stick around for?
Only a couple years.
So by that
Until
you
they built
mean,
the
like,
interchange. I mean, when the Parkway started out in the 1940s into early 50s, you're looking at the New York Parkway standards. You look at the Taconic; it had at-grade intersections.
Still does.
Have
Wow.
a couple.
Yeah.
You had a
They
lot
are
more.
taking one out as we
Yeah,
speak.
and Sawmill Parkway. So I mean, they were looking at the other parkways and said, well, we can have a couple at-grades sometimes.
Yeah.
So they just had an at-grade.
Yeah. So the Mullica Bridge was completely replaced as part of the widening also.
Old 9 through here is still partially a semi-signed state highway.
165?
3, right?
No, this one is
163?
167.
167, okay.
167.
This is one of those ones that's only signed on enhanced mile markers, right?
Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
signed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it gets the 324 treatment?
Okay,
Yes,
so
it does.
Okay.
167
It does.
exists in 2 discrete pieces. There's the southern stub, which ends in a marina, and there's the northern stub, which ends at a fence after about 100 feet.
so travel mapping does not consider it to be signed.
And you can walk the rest of
Well,
the
travel
way
mapping's wrong.
from the northern stub to the washed out bridges at the top of the river.
I see.
And you can see from there where it went, and if you have a kayak, you can finish walking it. But they pulled up the pavement about a dozen years ago, so there's really no reason to walk it anymore.
Yeah.
The control city for the Parkway South is now Atlantic City.
Which
Sensible.
makes no sense.
Yeah, well.
Why does it make no sense?
The Parkway doesn't go to Atlantic City.
A lot of
Here we
people
go.
on the Parkway are going. now.
No, it doesn't go there.
Cape May.
Would also be a sensible control city. I would
Parkway
accept
doesn't
that.
go to Cape May.
It becomes Cape May
It goes
once you
to
get
Cape May
south
County.
of 38.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
It goes to the geographic cape of Cape May.
Yeah,
I
it serves
question your
Cape
judgment.
It
May. I mean,
ends.
you're getting
Well, fine. What are you going to use as a control city instead? Upper? That's going to make
Upper.
sense to people.
Lower.
Middle.
You could use Cape May
Middle
Courthouse.
Township.
If only Mike Tantillo was here, I could
Cape
say
May
waste Cape May.
CH.
Yeah, Cape May Courthouse. That's what I said. That's what you use.
Yeah.
Could use Pleasantville or Egg Harbor. Those are allowable.
Upper.
I still like middle
Folks at home, do not mix uppers with downers.
with lowers. That's why there's middle.
That's true. That makes sense. Too.
Well, see, Thomas makes a good point. See, in Chicagoland, they sign a control city as northwest suburbs and southwest suburbs. So we can have
Well, in
upper,
Chicagoland,
middle,
they
and
sign a
lower.
control city as Wisconsin and Indiana. So
Yep.
Yeah.
That's also true.
And in New Hampshire, you have all main points.
Yeah.
Don't forget in
which in that case actually makes sense.
Yeah.
There's very
No,
few
just
places.
sign it as main.
Hell,
Except there's plenty of main points that are easier to get to by staying
All
in New
main
Hampshire.
points.
Yes.
Very few though.
Massachusetts has
Not that few.
New Hampshire, Maine.
Not places that most people are going.
Not
Yeah,
anymore. I
so
think
you-
they're all gone now.
Lake Mooselook McGuntuck is most
Oh.
easily reached off the Spalding Turnpike corridor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And how many people are going there?
I go up there all the time.
There you go. It's 3. 3 out of 7. And 1 sleeping, so say
I went
3
up
out of
there
6.
2 weeks ago.
50%.
Okay. All right. But your average tourist to Maine is probably going somewhere along.
I'd
the
like to
coast.
think I'm your average tourist
Yeah.
to Maine.
You're not.
I go there
None
for,
of us are
I go there
average
for
anything.
lobster.
Lobster.
But lobster from where?
Last from the
I don't
khaki.
care. It's lobster.
La, la, la. I got lobster
My
in
company
my
pays
car.
for it. That's what I go for.
Lobster beer.
So every time you're up there, you're expensing some lobster.
That's right.
I mean, that would.
I mean, if
Up
you
to the
can.
federally reimbursable limit.
Oh yeah, when was I supposed to meet you for dinner again?
I was supposed to get Dan's hat from you.
No,
I mean, his hat.
My hat,
Oh,
Dick.
Bill's
I
hat.
already gave it to him.
You already gave it to me. Yeah, you brought it in.
Yep. See, I'm reliable.
Yeah, you're reliable, all right.
Oh, so that was the sole reason you asked about having dinner was just to get the hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
One hat
we're.
I see
So,
how it is.
He doesn't
I see how
actually
it
care
is.
about you.
Well,
He just wants his hat back.
So we're now on the final segment of the
It
widening
came up
project,
innocently.
right?
We were
Actually-
hanging out.
48 down to 36.
And then he was
Had
like,
dinner with
I didn't
you
even ask him right away. He just texted Connor.
Maybe.
Yeah, Connor's
The
got
last
it.
time down, I ate
Okay,
in
that
Lowell,
answers
but
that
I
question.
was at a food truck. So, we'll figure it out.
Well, I knew it was,
They maybe
it was
asked
one
me
of
to
three
go to
things.
Concord
Either it was in
For a
Connor's
day,
car,
if I have to come
Brandon's
back,
car,
Concord.
or I
Which
flat out
car?
lost it.
Actually,
Because I checked Dan's car, it wasn't in there. So I'm like, okay.
no, also I'd be clinching 9 from there.
Uh-huh.
Coming up on Galway.
Galloway.
Galloway.
In Ireland, it's pretty pronounced Galway.
No, it wouldn't.
Everywhere in the
Well,
U.S.
Ireland
pronounced
is
Galloway.
wrong.
Oh, Ireland doesn't know how to pronounce their own town names. Excuse me.
Or country, apparently, you would argue.
So we have another service area coming up, and we have the exit for whatever you want
They
to
built
call it.
exit 41 so that they could cut off the service area.
Yeah, exit 41 is
Jeez.
new, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
People used to exit through the service area.
Oh, that's
E-
right.
This
Right.
one was the worst offender of all, worse than Montvale and Cheesequake.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Locals would constantly...
Because the parking area at the north end dumps you right onto the county route there.
So
right?
now,
561.
they have their own exit.
Yeah. Okay.
That cuts it off.
Hell, that
I
and it's
see.
not really close to any other real
Well,
exits,
and their
so-
own exit doesn't have a ramp toll, does it?
It does not.
Yeah, so there's no reason to anyway then, yeah.
Yeah.
The Atlantic service area.
Where's the Pacific service area?
On the
Or
other
the
coast.
Indian or Arctic one. Or if you really want to make people hate you, the southern one.
There is a Southern Ocean.
I disagree.
And there we go.
Oh, we have to have this fight.
Why is there no Southern Ocean? There's clearly a Southern Ocean.
Or in New Jersey,
Oceans
it's
are a
called the
cultural
lower
construct.
ocean.
They exist only as we perceive them.
So,
Con-
so is there a
continents are
central
not,
ocean?
A middle ocean.
Okay, well, all right, but
Upper
is
ocean.
Australia a
Lower
continent or is it a really big island? Where does it begin and end?
Australia's a continent because it has its own shelf.
Okay, but
New
does,
Zealand
Australia
also has its
shares
own
a
shelf, so it's a continent.
is Greenland a continent?
Does not have its own shelf.
Well, or is Oceania more properly the name of the continent?
No, it's
You gotta
a
include
bunch
all
of, that's
the-
a bunch of volcanic protrusions.
All right,
Yeah,
well, so
it's
then
a
what
bunch of-
continent is Fiji part of?
It's not.
It's
So you're saying there are places on Earth that are not part of a continent?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If a shelf is entirely submerged under an ocean, it is not a continental shelf. And so any islands on that shelf are not continental in nature.
But what bookcase is that shelf part of?
Who invited you?
So I guess we should address the Atlantic City Expressway at this juncture because we're coming up on that interchange.
This juncture or this
It's
juncture?
under construction!
What's under construction?
Everything.
Well, they
30,
actually
36, 37, 38.
yeah, the 36, 37, 38 project. So originally they didn't have all the fancy ramps that you're going to see in
There's a
couple
toll!
minutes. It is a toll road.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed that they don't use the shield on the parkway signs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
But is it
used to
signed?
work.
But is it
How does
signed
that make you
a
feel,
toll
Dan?
road?
No,
There
that's
is a
only
toll
New-
ban.
only
That's
New
what New
Hampshire
Hampshire
does that.
Yeah.
No, I was referencing New Hampshire standard.
a toll.
Oh,
The yellow banner in New Hampshire
It
says
says
a toll road. Yeah.
And the
I
lack
bet,
of
I bet you the next generation that will just say toll.
I'm gonna be so disappointed.
the lack of
Yeah,
shelf
no,
has
That is a
made you feel.
distinctly New Hampshire
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's
oh,
like
it is.
Delaware's must exit.
Yeah. Yeah.
California has no 6.
So they recently redid the whole 36 through 38 configuration here. The 38 interchange was always a cloverleaf, but
Yep.
they extended some
Toll
of the
for
on
the air
ramps.
conditioning expressway.
Extended the exit and entrance ramps, reconfigured some of where the ramps are located so that there's less weaving involved. So this section that we're coming up on, it looks a lot different than it did a decade ago.
Yeah, in particular, you cannot go from 38 to 37 anymore, which was formerly a very short weave.
Yeah.
Now they've braided that.
So
I think you still have access, but it's no longer.
you
a
have
weave on the main
access
line.
from the ramp.
Yeah, it's a separate ramp from
Yeah,
the ramp.
that's correct. Yeah.
A ramp.
Yo, dog, I
Road
know
they
you like
quickly
ramps.
like ramps, so they got a
They
ramp
put
for
a
the
ramp
ramp.
off your ramp.
Yeah.
A ramp.
Formerly
A ramp
exit
ramp.
38A.
Yeah.
Formerly.
And formerly exit 38.
It was 38, 38A, and now it's 38A, 38B.
Like they're going to do for.
And now Cape
E2.
May becomes the control city at this point.
Which works.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that's what
This is a very asymmetrical cloverleaf.
Yeah.
It is net. Well, it always was.
It
But
was
the loops
more.
were circular, but they were all different sizes.
Ooh.
But were they a constant radius?
It's circular, I said.
Okay, so
They were circular loops. Yeah, they're not elliptical.
So they weren't mass style.
New Jersey was one of the pioneers of cloverleaf. We had the first one.
One
in
of
the
them?
world. Well, no, but in clover leaves, plural.
I also have an accurate.
We pioneered the clover leaf.
Because New Jersey.
because New Jersey. Accurate clover.
Then I would argue that states like Illinois then took the lead in most clover leaves possible.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I guess in
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Minnesota's up there. Ohio's pretty bad, not as bad. Michigan's pretty bad. But yeah,
Michigan is bad in general.
I was gonna say,
Roads.
it's just bad.
Better than Pennsylvania.
One thing that Michigan has in
football.
common with New Jersey is making people go right to go left.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they also have to go left, and then right again.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So at this point, the widening project comes to an end.
Okay.
We lose the third lane from here on south.
Not complete to exit 30.
So this is
Yeah.
the first point it's down to 2 lanes since. The
Guys, if you find the third lane, please drop it off to Lost and Found.
Yeah. See, so this is the first time we've been on a 2-lane parkway since what? Mile 166?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
Or
that.
something like that? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a long time, guys.
Exit 168, which is south of mile 168.
168, okay.
But
yeah.
but I think mile 166 is correct.
Yeah, okay. So it's been, 135 miles or so
Yep.
since we've had a 2-lane highway
And
to
now
look
look
at.
at all the traffic there suddenly is.
Mm-hmm.
I
Looks
know,
like I
it's-
was wrong.
No, it's just an illusion.
Now they built the one of the bridges over one of these inlets up ahead here wide enough for a third lane, but
Forward
Because the
thinking.
bridges are going to be there 75 years.
Yeah. So.
So
Yeah.
in that time, they certainly might revisit, and they don't want to have to widen the bridge.
okay, yeah,
They had the permits now, so they built the bridge as wide as the permit would allow. And also, as you'll see when you get there, in staging the bridges, they put all the traffic on one and then all the traffic on the other. So it had to be wide enough
yeah.
for 2 lanes each way. And so they said, well, that's wide enough to have 3 lanes.
And that's exactly what they did with the Great Egg Harbor Bridge when they built
Yep.
that replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a certain other bridge you're familiar with.
I don't know what you're talking about. In spite of the fact that I'm wearing a hat from that contractor. We won't get into that tonight, though.
We had enough of that earlier today.
Capiche.
Yeah.
Capiche.
Oh, God. So, we are in the last... I'd say we've got about a half hour until we reach Cape May. So,
Minnesota is 9-0 for the first time since 1904.
Half a beer.
Just saying there's nothing interesting on the road. So I'm gonna,
yeah, we're in a bit of a
Ocean
lull
City,
for
wait a
this.
minute, that's not right.
that's
Ocean
correct.
City,
Ocean City, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is the
The
real
other
Ocean
Ocean
City.
no, it's not. The real Ocean City is the way south.
Oh yeah, no,
There
no,
is
no
hey.
one goes to that one.
Hey, there is no Ocean City, Maryland. Capiche?
And there it is.
Alabama is 8-1.
Yep.
It actually isn't a...
Yes, you know, this is an interesting argument I've gotten into with some people where I've mentioned Ocean City and they ask me which one, and I say, which one do you think? You know, if I just say Cleveland with no context, I don't mean Cleveland, Tennessee.
Cleveland, Texas.
Sometimes in Cleveland today. Cleveland.
I always thought that was funny how on I-69 leading away from Houston, the control city is Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait, not that Cleveland, right?
No.
Right.
It's actually even better on I-75 in Tennessee because Cleveland is off the same exit as Dayton.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep.
It confused me.
Now, we are coming up on what was my favorite part of the Parkway as a kid growing up. It's my most nostalgic part. And that is the bridge over Great Egg Harbor Bay.
Okay.
Last one over the bridge is a rotten great egg.
Yeah, right. So it was the project that was undertaken in 2016 to replace the Southbound Bridge, with a new bridge was a project that I was very interested
The
in.
piers were rotting out.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what the case was?
Yep.
Because that was the original bridge going back to
Yeah.
the 50s, right?
Yeah, they had to completely replace it.
Yeah.
Northbound, they just had to redeck, but southbound, the piers had to
Right.
rip the whole thing out.
How new is the northbound compared to the
70s, I want
southbound?
to say.
So like 20 years, about.
Yeah, I think it was the early 70s,
Yeah.
maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
why-
there is for anyone interested, a National Bridge Inventory database that you can look this stuff up and find for yourself.
Okay.
Original overpass.
We have another toll plaza, Great Egg.
Which
The last
Easy
one.
pass code G.
The last southbound
Last
mainline
southbound
plaza. That is correct.
There are other southbound,
The
right?
southbound mainline plaza.
Yeah,
this
there
it.
is a southbound exit toll for this, right?
Yeah, well, we ain't
There's an
paying any
entrance
exit
one, right?
tolls on this video, son. So don't
Why-
worry about that.
Why is that one exit tolled?
Yeah,
Which exit are we talking about?
exit 4.
Yeah, but
Exit 4.
exit
It's
4 is
Wildwood.
tolled.
It's told going
Yeah,
northbound too.
Yeah, but 6 is free and 1
Yeah.
is of course free.
Yeah, but-
So why is 4 tolled? No one.
Yeah.
We don't really know that.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well, let's
I mean-
revisit that once we
I
get
mean,
down
I
there. Yeah.
think they might be trying to get
Local?
people hopping off like CBMF area and heading to.
Yeah, the thought is that tourists going from Wildwood to Cape May will just hop on the Parkway,
Yeah.
but I
So
don't know.
I can remember as a kid going through this toll plaza and getting all excited because I knew what was up ahead, and that was the bridge over.
I'm sorry.
Great
This
Egg
is the
Harbor.
one. This was the at-grade intersection. Not the other one.
Yeah.
This was the at-grade.
This is US
For Breeze's point.
9 here as well.
Yes, this
so
is the location where US 9
US 9
violates
is tolled.
AASHTO standards by having a toll.
But it already had
no.
a toll.
No,
Yeah.
It's
it
a
had
toll
a toll.
bridge. It's
Yeah,
Because
it
there was
was-
either Beasley's Point was a toll bridge.
Yeah, but
Right.
Yeah.
It was always a toll bridge, so.
So US 9 used to cross the
U-
bay on the Beasley's
highways
Point
can
Bridge,
have toll
which was
bridges.
closed and demolished a few years ago, and now 9 is rerouted onto the Parkway on another concurrency.
Temporarily,
Quasi-officially.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
No, quasi-official now.
Quasi-official.
I don't. It's not temporary anymore.
They're working out how to transfer jurisdictions so that 9 can be permanent. They just
Okay.
haven't done the transfer yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is signed as.
So here's the bridge over the bay, and on the right there's actually a bike path behind the fence there.
Not a shared use path.
A shared use path.
Yeah,
Yes.
shared use path.
Yeah. And as you can see, the roadway is wide enough for 4 lanes. And why is that? Because they had to put all the traffic on this bridge once it was built while they were redecking the northbound bridge on the left. So this bridge could technically be expanded in future years for 3 lanes southbound if they
if it's
desire.
ever needed, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Likely
yeah.
to be needed.
Yeah.
You're kind of running out of land down there, so.
And as we touch down, we have now entered Cape May County, which is our last county of this evening.
South Jersey.
Welcome to South Jersey.
Not yet.
No, we're not in
South Jersey
yet.
begins at the Cape May Canal. Remember the sign.
So we will
Yep.
spend roughly 2 minutes of this video in South Jersey.
Oh, you
now.
crossed
No,
the canal?
not even.
Oh no, because it
Yeah.
only begins on the canal on 162. We don't know where that border goes from there.
Yes, it takes an immediate 90-degree turn and goes up due north for 100 miles.
Yep. Wherever Lou lives, plus 1 mile.
Ah, okay.
So welcome. So Route 9 will exit at this next exit, 25, and that's the last time that US 9 will multiplex with the Parkway.
Now. Well, yeah, no, ever. Never.
Hopefully ever.
You know,
I
it
don't
never
see why
it never came on at 12 and back off at 8. It was always
Right. Yeah.
No, it was
Yeah.
always by
Yeah.
itself.
Yep. So, the inventory here, we have one more service area to pass. We have a toll plaza for northbound only to pass.
And descendant exit.
And we have one last completely free section of Parkway to pass through. So that's what we've got up ahead. Oh, and by the way, there's an exit 0 involved here, in case you didn't already know. And a state trooper on the left there.
I hope
yes.
none of you are Jewish because we just passed ham and bacon.
That comment was made by a Jew.
You're welcome. Final score,
Oh,
LSU Alabama 46-41.
I will
Why
tell
don't
you-
you, what was that score, Steve?
46-41.
Yeah.
LSU has
46-41.
defeated Alabama
Yeah.
46-41.
Well, I'll have you know, Steve, that I've been invited. You might be amused by this. A friend of mine has invited me to visit his Chabad synagogue for services,
Good pronunciation.
and I think I'm actually going to go just because it
You
might
should
be.
go.
It's a consciousness raising, world expanding. Actually, it's interesting.
It is something
It's in Hampton Roads.
Roads!
Where?
It's in relatively close downtown Norfolk. There apparently is a substantial devout Jewish community within walking distance of this synagogue.
Interesting.
In kind of the core. I don't know what street it's on, but I'll find out eventually.
I know there certainly wasn't any on the peninsula.
No, I wouldn't think so. No, and I wouldn't think there'd be any in Virginia Beach either. But apparently there is in Norfolk. There's at least one. So I will let you know, Steve. Since I'm a heathen, I don't think they'll try to convert me, but I'll be respectful and I'll wear a white shirt and put on
I'd
a
be very
kippah.
surprised if they try to convert you.
No, they won't. They won't. That's not.
It would be a soft push.
Put on your yarmulke and hey, do that Hebrew thing.
but I've been
It's almost time for Hanukkah.
to a synagogues and haven't been pushed. So
No, it's not. It's not. I've never.
It's a very soft push. It's a very
they
gentle.
aren't as pushy as, say, the Baptists or
No,
the Pentecostals.
if they think you're interested, they'll keep trying to make you more interesed.
Yeah,
That's their
but-
soft push.
Well, and he said no. He said they actually said. He said no. That it's not the rabbi style. Does not try to convert.
No.
Heathens to.
No.
Basically, the rule.
There's no hellfire.
I don't know if there's a published rule or if this is tradition, but you have to ask the rabbi 3 times if
Yes.
you're really interested in converting to the
Yes,
Jewish
you will
faith.
be turned away twice.
And the third time, if you're interested, then
Yes.
That sounds very biblical.
It's
You
very
need
symbolic.
to ask 3 times.
well, there was a great video.
the counting
There was a great TV show that ran
no
on
less.
Maryland
Do
Public.
not ask the rabbi 5 times.
No,
4 shall not count.
but no, there was
There
a great show about a rabbi driving around the outback of Australia looking for Jews that aired on Maryland Public Television on the night of Rosh Hashanah, this past one. And it was actually very well done and very interesting. And guess what? He found some Jews.
And what was he looking for them for?
Because a lot of them had never been bar mitzvahed or bat mitzvahed or had any. They had a Jewish mother, and that was as far as it went, and they had no connection.
Because they were so isolated.
Yeah, and so what he was trying to do is reconnect some of them to their Jewish heritage. And he was a Chabad rabbi from the U.S. because his English was definitely not Australian English, it was actually.
He didn't put a prawn on the Barbie.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's exactly kosher. That's probably not kosher, anyways, Steve.
Yeah.
Good day, mate.
Yeah, you put a nice chicken or
You filter fish.
yeah, you could put fish because then you could still have dairy.
Yes, that's right, but not a prawn. I don't think a shrimp.
No, a shellfish is not.
Yeah, shrimp is a scavenger critter, and not. I mean, crab is not allowed either. I know a lot of my Maryland Jewish friends that like crab.
Yep.
Not allowed.
People who are born Jewish eat a whole lot more bacon and shellfish than people who try to convert.
The other thing, just to explain the comment for those at home that might be a little bit confused, is that there's the whole joke about put a shrimp on the Barbie
confused.
being an Australian thing, but it's not actually an Australian thing because Australians do not refer to shrimp as shrimp; they refer to them as prawns.
That's correct.
Wait, prawns and shrimp are the same thing?
Yes, they are.
No, they are not.
Not
I
biologically
didn't think so.
The
speaking,
prawn
but
is a
the words are used
animal.
interchangeably.
They taste about
Okay,
the
I was
same.
about to say, I didn't think those were the same thing.
I have seen things on menus in this country that say prawn. They have said prawn.
There was no regulation over what.
No, it's
No one involved in regulation knows the difference.
Dennis Township. How'd Dennis get his own township?
Yeah, there's Dennis, lower, middle, upper, and incorporated boroughs.
Also,
and
what
cities.
cape are we on? Dennis is on another cape.
So we just passed the northbound toll from
Right.
Cape May.
Right, and there's a gas
And
station coming up.
We have our last service area on the Parkway coming
And this
up.
is the only one I think that only runs part-time, at least part of the year. 'Cause I remember going to Steve's meet down here in those Stone Harbor, and I was with Mr. and Mrs. M.D. Rhodes, and we...
Who are watching right now, by
Yes,
the way.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Hi.
Rainey's probably
Hi,
watching
Laura
too.
and Mike.
Hi, Rainey. Yeah, don't forget her.
Yeah, that's right.
And this plaza was about to close. I mean, this is was it in January, Steve? I think it was January, right?
It was cold.
Yeah, it was cold. And it was.
It was the meet in question was January. Yes.
Yes. Yep, and so we were able to fill up. I had borrowed my dad's Jeep for some reason. I don't remember why, but they were getting they were getting ready to close. Excuse me.
My wife and I and one of our viewers today were in a car together riding down there.
Oh, okay.
So Sea Isle City is one of the, shore towns along
Yeah.
the Cape May coast. There's Ocean City, there's Sea Isle, there's Avalon, Stone Harbor,
Well, I
the
mean,
Wildwoods.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you have them all up and down the Jersey Shore from all the way. up to
Doesn't
the
this
top.
make you a Benny?
More or less, yeah.
I believe you were a Benny.
See, I don't even know what that term means.
You're coming
What is
from
that?
a state that's not New Jersey to go to a beach that is New Jersey. That makes you a Benny.
But I thought that only applied to people from the Philly area.
No.
No.
New
Does
York.
it?
Oh no, it's funny.
Actually, it's probably more so New York.
Yeah, no, they'll use it for both.
Really?
Yeah.
What about people from Quebec?
Yeah, they count.
They can.
Well, Carl, I don't think Carl is watching anymore, so we can.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about that, I've seen a lot of people from Quebec, at least by license plates, in terms of Atlantic Ocean resorts, is in of all places in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Mm.
A lot of Quebec tags down there, in the,
Oh, yeah.
warm in the with beach season.
As I was,
I mean,
as
I've
I
seen
was
Quebec tags in Florida.
just
They
now
can get
crunching
around.
all the state
Yeah,
highways
they
in
get around.
VA.
They get around
tons
Ontario
of
all
highways
around.
on 13 in
All-
off Delmarva.
Oh, I see.
Not
So
in
they
Virginia.
like to
Is
go in
this
the
a
spring
new
because
phenomenon?
it's shitty.
No, I can tell
They
you
do
when
that.
I was
It
when I was
really is shitty in
I
Canada.
mean, they're
When I
all
was
over
not-
the place.
when I was-
Wildwood and
I don't
when I was
areas
not
like
long
that.
out of
Yeah.
I think of Old Orchard when I think of where the
Really?
Yeah.
Old Orchard? Okay. That
It's
makes
to
sense.
the point that I don't think it's there anymore, but I believe for a while they even had a French exit sign for 195.
No kidding, really?
There was something French language
Really?
down there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
No,
I believe it actually said like it
It's
said
sortie.
Yeah.
at least a couple. I saw a couple of motels. We're talking early '80s. A friend of mine found most awesome bar that has ever existed in the universe on Atlantic Avenue called The Wave. It was a new wave music bar, unbelievably good. $1 a pitcher every night, and so lots of alcohol and lots of great music. But anyway, they had in front. They had
Sounds like a good time.
They had the U.S. flag, and then underneath the U.S. flag, they had the Commonwealth's Virginia flag, and then they had the Canadian flag and the Quebec flag.
All right.
So they were definitely looking for Quebec customers.
I'm pretty sure when I was doing my VA driving that on 13 South there was a French language sign keeping you going straight towards the bridge tunnel.
I do not remember that.
Matthew wants to know.
I don't
do
remember.
you,
Le pont tunnel du Levaille Chesapeake.
It might have just been kilometers and not French language, but Canadian.
Matthew says, do you have any future plans to redocument Ocean Drive with the new Townsend's Inlet Bridge, which is now finally open, and the new Easy Pass gantries at most of the bridges? I have to tell you that an Ocean Drive trip would be good to do for this format.
That's
They take Easy Pass now?
yeah.
They do.
They do.
take Easy Pass.
Is this going to be featured on our live drive coming up?
We will be passing through a toll gantry next weekend.
I have-
yes.
I
Will
still
it be
haven't
the new
driven-
bridge?
Well, it's not the bridge he's talking about, but all the bridges have Easy Pass now.
Oh wow, cool.
But
still-
And there are gantries that they put up.
will
with
we have
readers
the
on them,
opportunity
yeah.
to see this new bridge?
Well, I don't. The bridge he's talking about.
You have all the
none
opportunity
of
you
this
want. Go there.
Yeah, that's-
It's
Oh,
there.
I still
Yeah.
haven't.
There was
driven
also a
Ocean
thing
Drive,
when you were
actually.
using the
Townsend's Inlet is at the north end of Avalon, so
That's still
you could walk that and not pay the
relative.
toll.
It's still relatively where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Well, and I will. I've talked about this before, but I'm going to try to do it for next Memorial Day weekend. The Brackish Road Meet.
Brackish Road Meet.
It's
The
happening.
Brackish Road Meet.
Is it happening?
Yeah, I'm going to try to make it happen.
Tangier Island.
Tangier and Smith Island.
Ooh.
I'm there. I'm there if you do it.
If
Yeah,
you
well,
do
if
it,
you
I'll
do it.
We've been discussing this for
I'll-
too
No, I know
long.
we have. I know
I'll
we have.
do that.
Announce the
instead of Cincy.
date.
Yeah,
That
well,
was-
Also
I'm
that's
talking
Cincy.
to a couple of captains to try to figure out how much. They don't normally get calls from people that aren't interested in fishing or crabbing. They're only interested in using their.
We're
service.
interested in road signs.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
interested.
We want to finish the secondary highways on these islands and have some
Yeah.
some cake.
Yeah, that's about right. That's
If
about
it
right.
happens, I will attend.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I will be
it'll,
there.
it'll be a very
Just
unique.
no, seriously, just announce the date.
Yeah.
So,
Now's the day.
now's the day for that. Now,
Yeah.
we are entering the final
May
section.
22nd.
We are entering the
Is that
final.
the Saturday of Memorial Day?
Sure, why not?
Whatever
We
that-
are-
whatever the Saturday is.
Entering the final free section.
Yes.
Yes, exits 11 to 9
Did
are,
you say freak?
are vastly different from what they were a
Yes,
decade
they
ago.
are, aren't
Because
they?
now we have interchanges
Yes.
here instead of traffic signals.
21st. No, that's November.
So the Cresthaven Road interchange is here. Notice also how there used to be 3 lanes of
23rd.
traffic per direction through here, but
That's
they've
easier,
trimmed
huh?
it down to 2 now that we have full limited access through this area. And my
Right.
guess is that because the outer lanes of the 3-lane configuration were more for traffic that
Right.
was looking to
Turns.
turn off.
Yeah, exactly.
Turner for
Right.
capacity, but yes,
yeah.
exits
Yeah.
9 and 11 used to have signals. Never forget.
I remember that
Yeah.
very well.
So the 3 lanes of signalized capacity is slightly less than 2 lanes of freeway capacity.
Right.
So 2 lanes are plenty sufficient.
Yeah.
I wonder how many fatal crashes were at those those at grade intersections.
Oh yes.
Oh
Probably
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about a lot, but
There were
in a
crashes, I'm not
context
sure how
when
many
one
were
is
fatal.
one per year is a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Turnpike Authority would tell you a lot.
Yeah, mate, it
Well,
was.
sure. I mean, I give the Turnpike Authority a lot of credit for dealing with this actually pretty damn quickly, considering there was a lot of engineering that had to go into this before they could actually start building.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it from the Highway Authority.
Oh, yeah, it was
they
done.
took time to incorporate the roadway, and then they were already planning it.
That was a very good thing for all the Turnpike barrishes out
As
there.
I said, it may be a free section, but they have to manage it, and they don't want to respond to fatalities anywhere, so
No.
they're willing to put in the money.
Yeah. And this was one of the only. Well, it's the only section that used to have traffic lights, but it was by far the most substandard section of the parkway
Oh, I
that was
believe
still
that.
around. So
And now it doesn't look substandard at all.
no, it looks
Oh, no,
amazing.
it's a-
yeah.
Oh,
Now that you look
And
at
that
it.
bridge has always been there.
That's an old bridge. Yeah,
Yes,
it does.
this one has always been there. Yep.
been the last
And then there's
one,
one more overpass at exit 9.
I don't know if I've ever seen a bridge like that anywhere else in New Jersey of that design.
What we saw earlier in this video, the Woodbridge Avenue.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But I'm talking about
Similar.
similar, but not with the diagonal.
Exit
In,
9 is
in terms of
9.
the green steel construction
Yeah.
like that, that's the other bridge.
Here's an
Yeah.
example for you of exit
And
number matching
I
route
think
number.
somewhere in the 446, 95 interchange, there's one bridge like that also.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, so
something
under the old traffic pattern, the 3 lanes would drop back down to 2 after this.
pretty much where
Right.
the merge is.
Yeah, more or
Right.
less, yeah.
And
And
there-
one of the most exciting things that I picked up on from the new signage that's been pumped out on the Parkway in recent years is that New Jersey Route 147 is finally acknowledged after all these years.
Should be. This is where the
The wild.
Parkway
The
originally-
Wildwoods.
Right there, the Parkway originally ended back into Route 9, and so that,
Oh,
now
wow.
that's 9 right next
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
9.
Yeah, 9 is right to our right.
Okay.
Yep.
This stretch of Parkway was then constructed in the 50s.
Okay. So exit 6 used to just say North Wildwood, Whitesboro.
Oh, okay.
And there was no 147 marker until this new sign was
Okay.
put
And I
up
bet
a
you
couple
part of
years
the
ago.
justification for the toll at 4 is because the Highway Authority built this 9-mile section, and they wanted to have a toll somewhere on it.
Okay.
Didn't really have room or a reason for a main
And
line
Wildwood
toll.
is the most logical exit
Yeah,
point.
and I'm not sure if exit
So-
6 was even there originally.
I don't-
I'd have to
yeah.
go back.
Yeah, it might
I
have been an add-on.
I feel like that was an add-on, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when New Jersey took over 147. It was a
Yeah.
county highway originally.
Well, the interesting thing here is it says 147 and it's not a 2. And
No, it is 147.
This is
Yeah, it is
147.
Wait, right, it is.
Yeah.
147
Yeah.
begins at
147
9
ends
and
at
heads east.
Wait, so isn't there one of those words in this area that's isolated?
No, 147 does not connect to 47. It's
No,
a
but
county
that's-
road west from
But
that.
that's completely isolated.
152.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
That
Okay.
was back up in Ocean City.
Oh, you mean completely isolated from the state highway system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
152 is the longest state highway in New Jersey that is not connected to another
The
one.
Wildwoods on exit 4.
Yeah.
Well, right, and there is another one, 161, right?
There are many others.
Yeah, there are
but
several.
That is the 152 is the longest by a few miles.
All right. This
just
is
want to
also
talk
where we
a
then
second.
get back to the debate of does it count if it's unsigned.
13
Yes.
and 64 are other examples.
Those aren't signed, they don't count.
Oh,
13 has enhanced mile markers.
16,
That doesn't
no,
count
13
as
and
signed.
64 both have street blade overheads.
Still doesn't count as
Yes,
signed.
it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. They're on.
Travel mapping disagrees.
They're on guide signs.
Fuck travel mapping.
Yeah, fuck travel mapping.
They're on guide signs.
Just
Therefore,
saying.
they are signed.
Realize that I'm only deliberately instigating this
So,
matter for the sake of
But you're
Sorry.
wrong by your own standards.
I mean,
So-
they literally are on a sign.
Yeah.
But by travel mapping's own standards, street sign
Again,
blades do
fuck
not
travel
count as
mapping.
No, but these are not street sign blades. These are guide signs.
And
They're
travel
overhead
mapping is the
sign
ultimate
blade.
arbiter of
No,
what
but they're
counts
also
as
guide
sign.
signs.
Yeah, they are. I think guys.
So exit 4 is the last mainline exit on the Parkway, and it is the only exit in Cape May County with ramp tolls on it.
Right.
So there's that.
Easy Class Plaza Code WWN Wildwood North.
Where's
Is that
Wildwood
really-
South?
Okay.
There isn't one.
I don't understand.
Anthony made it through. They're knocking over.
Yeah, well, that's
I'm assuming WWN is exit 4 northbound and WWS is exit 4 southbound.
okay.
WWE.
Well, there is a ramp toll for exit 4 northbound.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would assume they have separate codes for those.
Now, is there a toll for the exit and entrance, or is it only for the entrance ramp?
I think it's
It's
only
the
the
entrance-
south, the
It's
southbound
for-
facing.
It's to enter southbound
Enter
and to
south,
exit
exit
northbound.
north.
Take
Yeah.
northbound.
My
Yeah.
If you want to use the Parkway from Cape May to Wildwood, if you're a tourist and you don't know any better,
Yeah.
you pay the toll.
yeah, if you're a tourist and heading from
Otherwise, if
from
you're like
Cape
us,
May
you
to-
take Route 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're
Right,
or
yeah.
you just stay in the
Yeah, I just
Wildwoods
take Route
and
9.
take Shore Drive. Unless that does it have a toll on Southern East Bridge?
Yes.
It's a toll southbound.
It's toll tank south.
So it was originally two-way. That's probably why they told these exits then, because it
You're
matched.
talking about the Ocean Drive toll,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's tolled southbound.
But originally it was tolled both ways.
It was. Yeah.
So they probably did these ramp tolls to match that when they
Right.
built this.
Yeah.
But
So then
because
you wanna
9
take,
was
you wanna
already
take
there
9
and free,
northbound, and then it's a matter of which is the cheaper
Yeah.
way to go south.
because 9 was there already, so they couldn't toll it, so
Yeah.
that remains free. Yeah, that makes more sense why they had those ramp tolls then.
Right.
Shore Drive toll.
Okay.
It's just otherwise everyone would use the Parkway and Shore Drive would get no money, and they
Shore Drive would
probably
be
they
pissed.
probably needed that as a concession to get this built.
Yeah.
Right.
And Cape May
So
County is-
we are in the last few miles of this trip. We started all the way up in Spring Valley, New York, over 2 hours
everyone who's
ago.
watching, tell us your favorite color right now.
No, don't do
Blue.
Do
No.
that.
Green.
Yo! Ah!
that. And it has been quite the journey to make it all the way down here into Cape May County. So, and we
Exit
still
zero.
have quite a lot of people
Exit
watching us.
zero.
Thomas's favorite color is green. Everybody, thank you.
Yes, there is an exit 0 on the
And
Parkway.
Cape May.
There
which,
is.
Which is
and
a signal,
Patrick
but-
is a liar.
Okay.
Awkward silence.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just calling people out.
Fuck you, Patrick.
What is the airspeed velocity?
Laura
of the
likes
Lake
orange.
Road?
We knew that.
Yay!
See, Laura's actually here in person. We actually need her to be
And
here.
Jay likes Ron Burgundy. Good quality.
All right.
Does he like Ron Burgundy or does he like Ron
They-
Burgundy?
Oh, one interesting point NJT Monmouth brings up. They got rid of the mini barrier at Raritan Toll. Yes, as part of the conversion, actually just to Easy Pass in the first place. So many of the toll plazas, they were called satellite booths. And in the old days, when you were maxed out at capacity and still having these huge backups, they added little satellite plazas. You go through the outermost toll booth and you get 2 or 3 more past it. And that was their way of trying to extend the capacity a little
Stanley
bit.
Steamer.
Once Easy Pass had, I'm sorry, Dan.
So we're coming to the southern terminus of the Garden State Parkway, and there you will see the sign on the left that says "Thank you for traveling the Garden State Parkway"
Oh,
on the
nice.
left, and we have this fancy Parkway End signal ahead sign.
Lots of more
And I really like how they have the exit 0 sign right at the
Right.
signal.
There is a gore point sign
There's a
for
growth
it.
point sign for exit
Yep.
zero, yep.
And 109 in circles.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this video defaults onto NJ 109 southbound. The Garden State Parkway has now ended. We have traveled 175 miles from Spring Valley, New York,
or
all
take.
the way down to Well, I mean, look at your trip odometer. It's 175 miles. All the way down to Cape May, New Jersey.
Old road straight ahead here. Original.
Yep, the old NJ
Highway
109
4
went straight ahead,
US 9.
which will be touched on in the online road meet next weekend.
All right.
And as we pass the Ocean Drive traffic signal,
We are entering South Jersey now.
Here's the bridge over the Cape May Canal, so we are now entering South Jersey. And as we cross the Cape May Canal and enter the city of Cape May, I would like to tell you all that we have come to the end of our journey this evening.
All right.
And
And
Steve right here.
it has been an incredible pleasure for me to not only host this event, but to be able to share it with the panel of experts I have around me this evening, who have done an outstanding job of sharing their expertise on the subject of the history of the Parkway. And I really think that we need to do more of these kinds of things in the future.
I would just like to finish my thought from before on the satellite tolls.
Please.
So once Easy Pass was implemented and started getting uptaken by the public in the late 90s, sort of obviated the need for the satellite tolls because now you're getting more throughput from Easy Pass. The Express Easy Pass conversion is what did them in, because at that point, most everyone with Easy Pass would be separated from the plazas. You had greater than 70% Easy Pass penetration rate. It's up closer to 80 now.
Right.
And so you didn't need the extra capacity of the satellite plazas. And so for that reason, they were all removed. They were considered outdated, maybe a little bit of a safety hazard, but more in that the toll takers had to walk there and back, and it wasn't connected to the tunnels. So, yeah, there was a rationale to want to remove them as well, and that's when they came out.
I think we definitely need to do more of these kinds of things in the future. This worked out really well.
Agreed.
And I appreciate all you guys coming here tonight, and I appreciate all the viewers tonight. We had a really great audience, really vibrant comment section. So I hope we can do these kinds of streams again in the future. So
Yeah, in fact, there was a question from one of your fans before while you were using the bathroom, wanting to know if you had any plans to do something like this in the New Jersey Turnpike at some point.
I would love to see if I could do more of these for other highways. And it doesn't have to be highways in New Jersey. It can be highways, as I said.
But it should be.
New York State
that
Thruway, the entire thing.
Oh, very good.
All day?
an all-day stream.
All day
yeah.
stream.
New York City to Ripley. Yeah. No, but I think
Believe
that
it or
the
not.
way
They're gonna
that
put people to sleep.
Yeah, that's about right.
the way that I film and the way that I present my material,
Sleep shifts.
this kind of thing does apply to any area that I've
That's over,
traveled.
it's my
It's
turn.
easy to put stuff together in this manner. So I hope that we can do more of this stuff in the future. This was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun because of my in-person company tonight from the AA Roads Forum. I want to give a thanks to CPZ, Josh, Anthony, Bill, Steve, and Connor, who were here tonight. You guys did an outstanding job. And to all of you in the comments section who were keeping us entertained as well throughout the evening. So
Not so much Connor, he didn't say much.
he said,
Connor, say something.
come on.
No.
Well, that was something. He said something. That counts. Okay.
I'm just gonna sit
So-
here and drink my beer.
He must have seen something.
don't have
he
a
said
beer.
something.
Do you
I have a
guys
beer right
Now
here.
you have a beer.
do we have any
Now
closing
you don't
thoughts
have a
before
beer.
we sign off, or do we want to just sign off right now?
I
And
do
on
not
a
have
high
a
note.
device to create feedback, so...
Any final
okay.
questions, people?
Any final thoughts?
Thank you.
Hey.
Nice video.
Pleasure's mine.
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks for hosting. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Next commenter, dinner's on you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it in advance.
All right, Matthew's buying.
No, after Matthew.
Send us your credit card number. Well,
Thanks, Brandon. Brandon's
Send us
buying
your
us
credit
dinner.
Brand.
No, there was apparently a Matthew Wong at Newburyport.
yes, there was.
Yes,
Yeah,
there was.
you weren't there for that.
Was he a freak? We want to know before we end this live feed.
No.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was fine.
Nah, he was.
All right, Matthew, you're
In
one of
fact,
us now.
I think that's why Dan handed off his phone to me too, because he didn't.
Well,
to
anyway,
reveal
so
his identity.
we will sign off from here. We'll end on a high note before this devolves any further. So thank you all very much for tuning in. That was your comprehensive tour of the Garden State Parkway. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Hope we can do more of this stuff in the future. And until then, join us for the online road meet next Saturday. That should be a lot of fun. It'll be more of Cape May County, so if you guys enjoyed... Oh, shut up. If you enjoyed the latter part of this stream as we toured Cape May County on the Parkway, you will surely enjoy some of the stuff we're going to see in Wildwood next weekend. So
Shit gonna get cray.
It's gonna be wild.
it's the off season, so it certainly will get interesting.
Also, per the new ruling on YouTube content, this is going to be child-oriented content.
Yeah, I don't know
We're
about
gonna
that.
teach you
What?
ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of Cape May County.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
Now I've
There
got
will-
something to be angry about.
Yeah.
as if you needed one.
It's
So,
for Cape May.
we're
good
gonna
enough
sign
for me.
off here, guys. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on our next
So
presentation.
long, farewell, love's withers and goodbye.